Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling. And Austin, you know what I fucking hate in this world, all right? Are goddamn crows. They say birds work for the bourgeoisie, already a red flag, and then you got fucking crows that think they're so smart and because they can solve basic puzzles and that they're better than all the other birds that work for the bourgeoisie, even though they're all just fucking class traders. And it makes me very angry. But you know what I do love are surfers, and I'm very glad to know that we are in WCW focusing on my favorite surfer boy Sting, and that there will be no crows in the vicinity, none whatsoever. I'm very excited. I'm so happy.
So the cinematic movie The Crow came out
What?
in
No.
1994.
No,
It
no,
was
no,
a
no, no,
film
no, 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 no.
directed by Alex Proyas and written by David J. Shaw and John Shirley, based on the 1989 comic book by James O'Barr.
Oh
And
no.
wrestling is about to change forever because one man decided to rip that shit off.
The king of ripping off movie ideas for wrestling gimmicks said, hey yo, if you will, I got this great idea, and it's a very original idea that has nothing to do with a
Dude,
popular
he would
IP right now.
Scott Hall would have blown Vince McMahon's mind if he pitched the Crow as a gimmick.
True. Imagine Surfer Sting in WWF the way Vince McMahon would like go feral, being like, Scott, you mad genius, you've done it again.
Yes, because today we are heading back to WCW 1996 and beginning the road, the very long road to the Sting as the Crow and becoming the protagonist in the fight against the NWO.
Just like the protagonist of WCW in general.
So yeah, we are going to be watching the September 9th, 1996 episode of WCW Monday Nitro. We have just passed the 1 year anniversary of the show first coming on air.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we are 6 days away. It is the go home show to Fall Brawl.
Oh shit.
And Fall Brawl is WCW's annual pay-per-view for War Games.
Oh ho
It
ho.
was originally a feature of the Great American Bash, and now they have moved it to Fall Brawl. And for those of you who don't know, War Games is very simple. It is 2 teams of 4, sometimes 5, stepping into a double ring with surrounded by one big ass cage.
Mm.
And it starts with
Mm.
one man from each team. And every 5 minutes, or they mess around with the time,
Yeah.
to be honest, but every few minutes, a new member of one team comes out. Then a few minutes later, the next interval, another member of the other team comes out. And this keeps going back and forth until both teams have everybody in the cage. And once everybody's in the cage, the match beyond begins, and you can finally win the match by either submission or surrender. No pinfalls.
No, it's and what's really crazy that's worth emphasizing is that the bell does not ring until every member of each team is in the cage. So the match is like it's just pre-match for everything before, and
pre-match fighting.
It's just dudes murking each other as much as possible before the match proper actually begins, which is nuts. Which is such a crazy fucking stipulation, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to be going over the card for Fall Brawl 96 and cover the storylines. Last time we were here, we actually watched the most recent pay-per-view, Hog Wild.
Oh,
where
really?
they went to Sturgis, and and the crowd did a racism, and Hulk Hogan won the title.
Oh, good time. Jesus Christ, we talked about that in like 2022.
Yeah, it has been a long
Maybe even
time since we
21.
talked about it.
I don't fucking
Yeah.
remember.
So I'm not gonna go back over that card except when it's relevant to talk about what's happening at Fall Brawl.
Also, a quick question for
So
you
let's go ahead.
about Fall Brawl and War Games. War Games was a WCW thing originally, right? Like that originated with
Yes, this was
WCW.
invented, but this was invented by the NWA WCW. I think I don't remember if Dusty Rhodes created the War Games match because he watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and had a dope idea for a wrestling match.
That's so fucking wild. Again,
Yeah, so Dusty
again,
Rhodes invented the War
Dusty,
Games.
you've done it again. I'm. It's crazy just how much iconic wrestling shit has just come from some dude watching a movie and being like, "Hey, that's pretty neat. It's mine
Wrestling could
now."
do with more stuff of watching something and saying, "Hey, that'd be pretty neat if we did that in a wrestling match."
Bro, fucking, we covered Hog Wild on episode 49 in November 2021. What the shit?
Damn, almost 3 years since we did that episode.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. All right, let's move into Fall Brawl. Obviously, the main event of the show is War Games.
Mm-hmm.
So that covers a lot of the plot going on in WCW right now.
Naturally.
To be honest, as the NWO in the at the main event of Hog Wild, Hulk Hogan beat the Giant to win the WCW title.
Mm-hmm.
He spray painted the belt NWO.
WO.
And he also teased that Ed Leslie, the Booty Man, Brutus Beefcake, was the fourth man in the NWO before having Hall and Nash kick the shit out of him.
Which was so unnecessary, but also deeply funny.
It was, and for a couple of weeks, you have like baby faces commenting on how much of a dirtbag Hogan is for betraying his bestest friend like that.
Absolutely. Even though Ed Leslie is also playing heel, isn't he, technically?
I mean, he was. I don't even know, to be honest.
Fair enough.
But they have settled on War Games. Here, the NWO has staked their claim. It is Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and to be honest, a member we don't know yet as the fourth man in the NWO. On the NWO team, we know the fourth man of the NWO, and in fact, the fifth man of the NWO as well. But neither of them will be in the cage.
Oh.
So far, it's just Hogan, Hall, and Nash.
Wait, who are 4 and 5?
Well, okay. So on the August 26th episode of Nitro, they have a whole big thing where in the middle of the show, Ted DiBiase comes down to sit at ringside, and whenever he's on camera, he throws up the 4.
Okay.
Now,
yeah,
the commentary team, especially Eric Bischoff, no foreshadowing here, tries to play off that maybe he's talking about he's aligning with the Four Horsemen. Because obviously, Horsemen do that too. Right?
Yeah.
So they don't really know what DiBiase's deal is, and maybe they're coping a little bit that he's here to help the Horsemen fight the NWO.
They're like, Jesus Christ, please stop getting more people.
The September 2nd episode makes clear that no, Ted DiBiase runs off in the NWO limousine, and he is absolutely into the fourth man in the NWO.
Bro, that's such a fucking wild recruit. Like you have Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, and Ted DiBiase.
Early NWO was still trying to play off this idea that this is a WWE invasion, and so they obviously
even though they got sued into oblivion and couldn't actually lampshade that angle very much.
but they're still trying. But like these first 5 or 6 guys that go in the NWO, it's all about like being a Fed guy
Okay.
to sell the idea that like this is an invasion, and that's why it's
Sure.
DiBiase. Plus, DiBiase is the kayfabe excuse for them having money. Now,
Oh, okay, sure.
as
Oh,
well,
so all of this ad was paid for by the New World Order.
he's
Is
the
they
benefactor.
needed to explain it away? Okay,
Yeah.
I guess. Is DiBiase still wrestling at this point?
No, he is out of the game. He's just a
Ah,
manager at this point.
okay. Well, that's nice at least.
Yeah, and then the 5th, then on the September 2nd episode, well, I'll put it like this. If I had a nickel for every time that the NWO members were doing a beatdown and a big top babyface came to the ring, ostensibly to put the boots to their asses, but plot twist, they are actually joining the NWO, I would already have 2 nickels. And I guarantee it won't be the last.
Probably not. Wait, so nickel number 2?
Nickel number 1 was Hogan, of course.
Yes.
And nickel number 2, the Giant.
God
has joined.
damn it.
Now, to be fair, this was not Plan A. For the rumors on the street is that the NWO was trying to get British Bulldog for this particular spot.
Oh,
and that
shit.
sounds insane to think about.
That does.
1997 British Bulldog.
That
fell through. They also tried to get the 1-2-3 Kid, Sean Waltman.
Oh, shit.
Take this spot. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
But that fell through as well, so they said, fuck it, the Giant. We'll put the Giant in there.
Was Waltman with them at this point?
He was still with the WWE at this point in time.
Bro, he had such a short run with WCW then, because like
he does.
He was back
like
in time
he's in WCW for like a year.
Jesus Christ, and then he's back in time for Degeneration X.
Yeah, in '98 for sure. He has a very short time in WCW.
That's fucking wild. So he was still the 1-2-3 Kid in '96. Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense because that's like New Generation technically.
Late New Generation, he's still there.
Fair enough. Damn.
But so they don't have anybody else. It doesn't necessarily make super plot sense because the Giant is who lost the belt to Hogan, and up to this point, and every week before this week, they've played the Giant as being like mad that he lost the belt. We will get more to the Giant when we get to his match at Fall Brawl.
He literally said, if you can't beat him, join him.
Literally, that is how, because he cuts a promo and tries to explain it as like Ted DiBiase showed him Hulk Hogan's McMansion. And he's like, shit, I want that. I'll join you guys.
Yeah, I can mope around and be a loser, or I can join the winners. It is very like our backup plan to Hogan was Sting joining the NWO sort of vibe, but like Sting like even less like even kind of less crazy of a swerve, or I don't know, like less like I don't know, engaging of a swerve, but okay, Giant's here. As we will find out in the many years to come, Paul White's propensity to just flip the moral compass on a dime every few weeks is
started
unmatched.
here.
This is where it all began. Yeah, the great foreshadowing to the rest of his career right here, baby.
Yeah. So the Giant will not be competing in the cage. He already has a different match at Fall Brawl that was set up before they made him the fucking 5th man in the NWO.
Who's he fighting?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay, fair.
But the NWO will be facing a Team WCW in the cage, as you'd expect.
Yes.
They spend a couple weeks being like, who's going to step up and fight the NWO about it. The Four Horsemen established themselves as the guys to do it.
Naturally.
For context of where we are in the Horsemen's timeline. Right now, the Horsemen is Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Woman and Miss Elizabeth as the valets.
Oh yeah, I forgot we are the Horsemen at this stage of their Lyfe are being filthy fucking liars about how many of them there actually are.
I mean, there's only 4 wrestlers and 2 valets, so
That's
there's
fair.
only 4 horsemen if you think about it.
Again, real hard hitters on TWCW too. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, and Mongo McMichael.
Well, that's the thing. Is you know who else has been stepping up to the NWO right now? Lex Luger,
Sting!
Lex
Oh,
Luger, and the man they call Sting.
Sting! There we go.
And Lex Luger and Sting make a proposition to the Four Horsemen. What if they all teamed up in War Games? Which Sting,
Sting, I don't think
why?
I don't think you're doing the math here, brother.
Well, no, that's not it. The first thing is you want to trust the Horsemen again.
Oh yeah. I forgot because he has a whole fucking thing with the Horsemen.
Yeah, but basically their proposition is we'll fight with Flair and Anderson.
Yeah.
And there is a
yeah. You mean the 2 members of the Horsemen that Sting has the most of a thing with?
Yeah. So they have an extremely long promo of like both guys going back, all these guys going back and forth and being like, you know, I don't like you and you don't like me, but when you get in the cage, you better bring it your all. Are you going to bring it your all? And they're like, yeah, man, I'm going to bring it our all. Like, it's so long and circular. And they even have Benoit and Mongo are both put on the spot to give their blessing to sit on the bench for this one. and they both are like, you know, I don't love it, but we respect Rick enough that if he says, hey, sit this one out, we'll sit this one out.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see if they'll get anything else nice to do, cool to do in the pay-per-view.
One of them does.
Oh, and I'm sure it's Mongo McMichael.
Of course, we're going to watch a Mongo match on Fall Brawl. Absolutely. Now, of course, the next week they would retcon sort of this as they go from like Benoit and Mongo are cool with it to Benoit and Mongo want to wrestle Luger and Sting to like prove that Sting and Luger are legit and are like ready for War Games or whatever.
Man, you didn't have to waffle like that. You could have just set that up from the beginning.
Yeah, you could have, but they didn't. So fuck us, I guess. Yeah, and then the match ends in a schmozzy nothing when the NWO run in, beat everybody up, and they fucking spray paint Sting or whatever. Because that's their thing now, is they got spray paint and they're spray painting everything with NWO.
Of course, naturally. Good, great, cool.
Also not an official member of the NWO, but it's been a major plot beat. Remember referee Nick Patrick, who had the weird at Halloween?
Oh yeah,
the referee who did the screwy thing and cost Luger the match at Hog Wild. Well, Now it's a plot line that everyone thinks he's on the take, and yet WCW does nothing about it, which feels like foreshadowing to how WCW will handle the entire NWO storyline organizationally. They know that Nick Patrick keeps fucking up good guys and costing not even just NWO. He also screws a team over so that Dungeon of Doom can get a win. He is just a heel generically referee, and he keeps getting interviewed by Mean Gene, and Mean Gene is like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? And Nick Patrick gives really shitty excuses and deflections about it all. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, go for it.
It leads to Sting and Luger getting screwed in a match by Nick Patrick, them chasing Nick Patrick out of the building. And this happened on the prior Nitro, by the way. And I don't know why I'm bringing it up, because I don't think they're going to pay it off with anything. But you should know this happened. They chase Nick Patrick to the NWO limousine. Nick Patrick gets in the limo. Sting takes a cinder block and throws it through the window of the limousine. And then when the limousine drives off, Sting assaults a cop and steals a cop car, and they drive off after the limo in a stolen cop car.
I am two buttons memeing so hard right now between noted babyface Sting and correct. That is the correct babyface action to do. Sting.
Noted babyface Sting is a rare occurrence, to be honest.
Yeah, he's usually pre-Crow Sting anyhow.
Mm-hmm. Surfer Sting stole a cop car.
That's how you know it's serious. Surfer Sting actually did something.
And considering I know what the main plot beat of this episode we're gonna watch is, I do know that means he did not go directly to jail for it.
Man, and yet the fucking Finger Poke of Doom episode, who's in jail? Fucking Goldberg.
Miss Elizabeth tries to get Goldberg arrested for stalking, and that's why he spends most of the episode not there.
But Steve Borden can steal a cop car, and the cop's like, okay, I guess we're chill.
Sting said that the NWO was in that limo, and I guess the cops were like, oh, real?
Oh, you have, excuse me, sir, please have all of my assets that I use for crime fighting.
Okay, yeah.
Get that evil wrestling organization.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that is the setup so far, and tonight we are going to learn the final member of Team NWO.
Okay, so we have our team set, kind of. So the tag team match between Mongo and Sting and Luger ended in a fucky finish. So are we going to then tonight get more on we need some other way to decide if we're actually cool with this?
I doubt it. Not really. They just Mongo and Benoit just accept the L on that one. They're like, all right, this is our chance to prove we belong in the match. And I guess we failed on that, so okay.
Man, the NWO story would be so cool if it didn't go on forever as the only cool thing WCW had going for it, and B, if fucking anybody in that writer's room could actually take 2 seconds to think of the implications of the plots that they were writing.
Nah.
Like the NWO, okay, they have one good thing in that Bischoff being an NWO guy, makes it make sense. Oh, this is how they're not all of the fired and institutionally buried because they have Bischoff on their side. Mm-hmm. But also everything else is just, are we gonna do anything about this? Nah.
There is so much content, WCW Nitro story beats that are trying to rally the troops as if the NWO isn't especially at this point, isn't 3 people.
Yeah.
3 main eventers, I guess, but why is WCW not jump these guys on the regular?
Yeah, and again, you have Bischoff in the boardroom being an NWO guy, so I guess that's fine. But on a roster level, bruh, how the fuck, why is anybody else in WCW okay with this and letting these guys get away? They could just get murked. We could just murder the NWO at this juncture. At some point they will get big enough that we can't do that anymore. But at this juncture, we could just kill them. That is an option.
That was a plan, but they keep not doing it, and then they let the NWO get bigger.
It's some Hamlet shit. They keep pussying out. They're we can't kill the NWO while Hulk Hogan is praying. Then he'll go to Hulkster heaven.
Yeah, that's it. Hulkster has God on his side, is the number 1 Hulkamaniac. So
really, we're all fucked,
Now, I guess now it's God is the number one NWO light.
No. Oh no, I always knew that he was a bastard man, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
All right,
McMahonism was the legit alternative
perhaps.
for him.
So then the next match on Fall Brawl, the Giant will be facing the Macho Man, Randy Savage, 1-on-1.
Okay, well at least Macho Man's playing face right now.
Yeah, in the aftermath of Hog Wild, basically the Giant and Randy Savage have been blaming each other for what happened at Hog Wild.
Hog Wild, yeah.
Macho Man's like, hey, what the fuck? Especially because it's already been announced that Macho Man will be main eventing Halloween Havoc, the next pay-per-view, against Hogan for the belt. So Macho is the number one contender. And he's like, hey, what the fuck was that, Giant? How did you lose the belt to Hogan? And then the Giant's like, why did you not stop Hogan? Where were you, Randy? Why didn't you stop Hogan?
Why does the Giant sound like fucking Jesse Ventura?
He does scream a lot at this point, and that was my best approximation of that. So
That's fair. Well, my question was more like, I forget, was Paul White like doing a voice for the Giant?
He was definitely trying to. His voice he makes his voice sound more growly than it is naturally.
Okay.
Because he's the monster Giant.
He's the monster. I still contend he should have just spoken with a French accent if they're trying to lean into this whole Son of Andre thing.
Yeah, but so Macho Man the last few weeks has been like single-handedly beating the shit out of the Dungeon of Doom because they're all losers except for the Giant.
And even then.
At this point, the Dungeon of Doom is, by the way, it is the Giant, Jimmy Hart, Kevin Sullivan, Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers, and the Faces of Fear. That's Meng and the Barbarian.
Great. I feel such
the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah. Attaching Jimmy Hart to the Dungeon of Doom really added to their ominous credibility. I can't think of, I don't understand how they couldn't find their footing when they had Jimmy Hart there to be like, hey, it's the Dungeon of Doom, Daddy! We're gonna doom all over you, Daddy! Let me sing this song for you all about Doom. Oh, it's Doom! It's the Dungeon of Doom, Daddy!
I'll be honest. The Dungeon of Doom was already dead in the practical sense at Uncensored 96 when Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage were in a cage match against the entire Dungeon of Doom in a, let me count up the numbers here, 8-on-2 match, and Hogan and Savage won.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
They were in a cage match with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ming, the Barbarian, Lex Luger, Kevin Sullivan, Z Gangsta, that's Tiny Lister, playing his fucking no holds barred character again.
Tiny Lister?
The actor.
Tiny Lister. God. Wait, is he like the guy in No Holds Barred? Like, he
plays Zeus, the bad guy in No Holds Barred, and he basically fucking he might as well have played Zeus again as Z Gangsta in WCW. And a guy and some random jabroni who was just big. So they had him be the Ultimate Solution, which, by the way, was his second name because they did, in fact, originally call him the Final Solution. But then they got complaints from Jewish organizations and had to change it.
I can't imagine why. Jesus fucking Christ. How much do you want to bet the guy that pitched Heidenreich to Vince was also the guy that pitched
the guy who pitched the name The Final Solution?
Yeah. How much do you want to bet?
WCW claimed they were unaware that The Final Solution was the name Hitler gave to his plan to eradicate the Jews.
How? Literally how?
That's a good question, but that's, it
I
is
guess
what it
none
is.
of them just ever went to school.
Yeah, so my point is that the alliance to end Hulkamania already got completely jabronied, and now the Dungeon of Doom just sucks. They just
That's
suck.
great. That's outstanding. That's
They are going to add more wrestlers from here, and they're still going to suck.
who would want to join the Dungeon of Doom at this point?
I don't know. They have no purpose. Their entire purpose was to destroy Hulk Hogan. And now Hulk Hogan is the number one heel in the company. All they have is being like, haha, see, we were correct. Hulk Hogan was a piece of shit. And otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing. Nobody cares.
You could have done anything else with this. You could have had them gloat, but then target someone else. You could have had them be like, well,
Oh,
shit, I
no,
guess
wait. You're wrong. They do target someone else. They had a promo where they threatened Glacier. Now,
oh boy, I'm so
you
glad
might
they found their
remember
way
Glacier as the Mortal Kombat Blood Runs Cold guy, who, by the way, still hasn't debuted.
Wait, oh my fucking god, wait, for some reason, I thought that was a Fed guy. I forgot that those were that was a WCW thing, when I was like, oh, it's Sub-Zero.
Yeah, it is fake Sub-Zero. And
I
he's had
forgot those were
vignettes for months.
WCW, because we saw those, didn't we? During the...
Yeah.
Why did I think that was WWF? Why did I
Because
think
it feels like a new generation gimmick.
Well, I thought it was Attitude Era or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but the dumb shits, they still haven't debuted him. He is still just doing karate in a fake ice palace of snow.
I'm so glad the Dungeon of Doom are moving on to an equally high-profile target in Glacier. Oh man, the legendary feud they must have had with
We might
Glacier.
get to see some of it, or maybe we won't. Hopefully not. I honestly don't care.
I don't. I choose to believe he's just always going to be in that ice palace doing ice karate.
Yeah, looking like a dude who runs a dojo, a karate dojo in the mall.
Yeah, the mall ice palace. Don't you have one over in Columbus?
No, we don't, because malls are dead.
That's true. The real tragedy of malls dying is the death of the mall ice palace.
Yeah,
my favorite.
But whatever. The Giant is breaking off from the Dungeon of Doom losers, and he's gonna fight Randy Savage.
Probably for the best.
Then we have the next match for the WCW Tag Team Championships. It's Harlem Heat versus the Nasty Boys.
Versus the Nasty Boys. That's great.
The Nasty Boys, my least favorite Hogan ball lickers.
And there are a lot of Hogan ball lickers.
That's all. You got to go down. I
like
depth.
Jimmy Hart more than I like the Nasty Boys in terms of Hogan.
I like Brutus Beefcake more than I like.
Fucking true. Absolutely true.
But guess what? The Nasty Boys are here, and Mean Gene tried to ask if they're Team WCW or Team NWO, and they're like, "We're the Nasty Boys, and we're nasty." And we want the tag.
Thank you, Nasty Boys. And then I had a heart attack and died.
Yeah, and they jumped Harlem Heat once, so I guess that's impetus for the tag match.
But Harlem Heat are heel.
Yeah.
So why are they the ones getting jumped? And why are Nasty Boys refusing to take a fucking moral alignment?
Shut
up.
Shut up is what I'm going to tell you. Harlem Heat, meanwhile, are still doing the thing they've been doing, which is they have Sherry Martel and Colonel Robert Parker as their managers, which means that every single match has to be like a 5 stage of bullshit shenanigans for them to win. They can never just win matches. They have to win after like 3 different interference spots.
Absolutely, because Robert Parker's got to do one, and Sherry Martel's got to do one, and then Robert Parker and Sherry Martel have to do one together, and then the Harlem Heat themselves have to do one, and then let's just throw in another Robert Parker spot just for good measure.
Now, Harlem Heat did win a match clean against Greg Valentine and Bizarro World Greg Valentine, Buddy Valentino on an episode of Nitro.
Buddy Valentino?
Seriously, look this fucking dude up. He looks like he could also be Greg Valentine.
Please, see, I hear that and I immediately think like a Jimmy Dean impersonator or someone, or not Jimmy Dean, fucking Dean Martin impersonator.
Mm-hmm. But basically, just as a reminder, Sherry and Colonel Parker are married in storyline here.
Oh yeah.
And so one week, Colonel Parker just decides he's going to leave Harlem Heat to fend for themselves because he and Sherry got to go down to his farm and ride his horse or what the fuck ever. And so Harlem Heat has to win a match clean, but it's fine because, again, they are facing 1996 Greg Valentine and Buddy Valentino. So it's not really a problem.
Oh my god. Bro, I looked up Buddy Valentino and there's so little for him that I'm getting fucking results for Buddy Roberts.
I looked up Buddy Valentino WCW, and there was a picture. The second picture I found was from the episode I watched with this fucking match.
Oh my god, dude, this guy's fucking cage match is crazy. Matches per year, and I'm sure cage match has like an incomplete like registering.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way they got every Buddy Valentino match.
But what they have is a total of 17 matches from 1980 to 1987 or 1997. So an average of 1 match per year, but that is with no matches registered from 82 to 87 and from 89 to 92. We have 1 on record in WCW 97, 6 in 96, 3 in 95, 2 in 93 and 94, 1 in 88 in not WCW, and one in 81 and 80 also in not WCW.
Sure.
Whatever. Outstanding. What an illustrious career is the point.
Fall Brawl, it's going to be Harlem Heat versus the Nasty Boys.
They're so nasty.
Harlem has fought off the Steiner brothers. They fought off the American Males. And now we get the Nasty Boys. Then for the Cruiserweight Championship, it is Rey Mysterio Jr. defending the title against Super Calo. Super Calo was a AAA crossover guy.
Okay, neat.
They haven't really had any interactions, and Rey Mysterio's only had a couple matches on Nitro because the Cruiserweights don't get storylines in WCW 96. They just have matches. They just have bangers, and they don't have stories. That's it. Fuck you. Stories are for
what a bunch of dipshits think AEW is. Hey!
They exist to half the time cut away to whatever the NWO is doing. WCW has a remarkable number of... They have mastered having matches for the sake of having a match to cut away from for something more important. WCW Nitro is half matches between absolute jabronis, so they have an excuse to cut away to NWO shenanigans.
Oh, you mean, yeah, literally from day fucking 1 of the NWO. The Scott Steiner, the Scott Steiner promo, not Scott Steiner, Jesus, Scott Hall promo. He interrupted a fucking jabroni-ass match with 2 dudes that I don't remember who the fuck they were, and it didn't matter. Literally from day 1. Later,
I think. But yeah, no one cares. Anyway,
Rey Mysterio, I gotta say, this is crazy. I watched a video earlier today, a little clip of Rey Mysterio was recently on I can't the one like wrestling podcast where the dude just interviews wrestlers, and
Is
I
it
don't
Chris Van Vliet?
Chris Van Vliet, yeah. He was on Chris Van Vliet recently, and I saw a clip from it where Ray was talking about some of his time in WCW, and he talked about the Lawn Dart episode, and I forgot that on that same episode he won the cruiserweight title from Dean Malenko, and I double forgot that in that match he had a crazy ass spot where he went to like I don't know, fucking Cito or some kind of like tumbling or like flipping dive off the top rope to the
Mhm.
outside or whatever. But like looks like he's like about to like go land on Dean Malenko, but Dean Malenko like sidesteps him and he just like fucking eats concrete in a spot that's kind of even crazier than the lawn dart spot.
Rey Mysterio was out just throwing himself
Yeah.
around.
In terms of how much it hurt, the lawn dart spot was crazy because like I had never seen anything like it before. But like the what Ray eating concrete off of that move just looks like agony. Sheer
Doing it in the Disney parking lot in front of people who
outstanding.
would rather who are just waiting for the fireworks or for their Disney not even their fast pass wasn't a thing yet, so I can't even make the joke I was gonna make.
Absolutely. No, they're just, if you're casually going to Hollywood studios, bada bing, bada boom, here's Rey Mysterio eating concrete.
Yeah. Then another match. I don't think this has been officially announced, but it has no story anyway, so I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. It's gonna be Chris Benoit is gonna have a match against Chris Jericho, the Lionheart.
Yay! Piss break match. Piss break match.
Now, Chris Jericho is at a fascinating point in his career in that he is a generic white meat babyface.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was still doing that shit at fucking Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, he is the Lionheart, and he's only had 2 matches in WCW, and significantly though, his second match was against Dean Malenko, and he won. So they're hyping him up big style as like this is a hot new guy. Like holy shit, what an upset! He beat Dean Malenko.
Bruh.
And now he's about to go in there against Benoit and wrestle for 15 minutes about nothing.
Absolutely.
but to have a banger.
Bro, it is crazy how like he was in his day the guy that WCW fumbled and then the WWF picked up and was like, let's actually do shit with you.
He was not. I would say he was the first big WCW fumble to go to WWE.
Yeah, because Guerrero and everyone still stuck around.
That was later. WCW did all right by Paul White. I'm not going to give them credit for that, and I think they did all right by X-Pac too. To be honest, that X-Pac's always been more of a mid-carder.
Yeah.
So it's like he was the mid-carder in WCW. He wins the Cruiserweight Championship. All right.
And like to be fair, like I would say more than Jericho, X-Pac owes, I think, what he was able to do in WWF more to WCW because it was WCW rebranded him from the 1-2-3 Kid to 8-pack or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, there's a direct line from 1-2-3 Kid, his WWE name, X-Pac. In terms of how
whereas Jericho, they completely like reinvented the character when he came over to WWF.
A little bit, but it was also building off of what Jericho did of his own thing in WCW. Like the way Jericho tells his time in WCW is that nobody gave a shit, and so every week he'd just be like, "Hey, can I cut a promo before?"
Oh yeah,
and they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't fucking care." What's NWO doing this week? And so he got super over pretty much just inventing his own fucking storylines and character because nobody in management gave a fuck to do anything with him.
I gotta respect the hustle. That the sheer ability to just like be that organic without a lick of institutional support is beautiful. Yeah.
But anyway, for now, he's just a good guy who wants to fight the good fight and on the side of WCW. And he's going to get a showcase match with Benoit, who also doesn't have anything to do right now.
Yeah.
Also already announced for the AAA Heavyweight Championship.
Oh?
It is Conan defending the title against Juventud Guerrera.
Juventud is here?
Yes, the guy who The Rock will eventually bury the shit out of by name. I'm going to wrestle a guy who lost to some jabroni called Juventud.
More like Juventud, am I right? Yeah, absolutely, like just
also future member of the Mexicans.
Oh shit!
That's it.
The Mexicools.
One of the Mexicools.
Yes.
As for now, though, Conan is just another cruiserweight WCW.
Damn.
Though he did turn heel. He did turn heel recently. And I was okay.
Correct.
And then Juventud Guerrera had his first match in WCW. He won, and he announced that he would be replacing Psychosis in a match for this AAA championship. In a promo where Juventud can't speak English very well, and yet WCW threw him out there to do an interview with Mean Gene in English. And as he is struggling through the promo, at one point Mean Gene just cuts him off and is like, "Well, you're gonna have to talk to somebody else about that, pal."
Mean Gene, no.
Yeah, it was rough.
Oh, that's brutal. That's nasty. Oh.
But the juice is not here yet. Right now, he is just plucky new guy, Juventud Guerrera.
Oh, man. But it is nice to go back to a time where Conan didn't have any clout to be annoying with.
No, at this point, he's almost going to be... He's closer to being cool than he is to being annoying.
Damn. Imagine.
He's going to get in a wolf pack, and he's going to be one of the coolest guys there.
Holy shit. That sounds incorrect, but also I can also unfortunately see it, because, like, his character work in Lucha Underground was good. It just sucks that he's really fucking annoying IRL.
That's true. Then we'll have a rematch from Hog Wild. Ice Train and Scott Norton. Fire and Ice are going to be back at it again.
Oh my! They've
barely been on Nitro since, but by God, are they having another match, because we need to fill a full 3-hour show. Fall Brawl comes in at 2 hours and 43 minutes, and half the matches on the show have no story. We have to add on.
Man, fucking, it's so crazy, because you have War Games to already eat up an hour. How the hell do you not have enough going on to, like, have actual shit that's coming from somewhere on your
90% of the story stuff that's happening on Nitro is just the NWO.
Oh my God, bitch off.
But yeah, they're going to roll that back. And then the last match on the show, this actually does have story. So quickly we can talk about. It is going to be DDP versus Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Oh shit.
So
Baby Chavo,
for sure.
That's fucking crazy. He's got to be like, I guess not like super young, but like, man, that is baby ass Chavo.
Chavo is only 25 at this time.
Damn. I would assume he would have been younger. But holy shit.
Basically, at Clash of Champions, which I guess I haven't talked. There's not a lot to talk about that happened at Clash of Champions that carries on to Fall Brawl. Hogan had a match with Flair, and he allegedly tapped out, but he also knocked the ref out while he was in the figure 4, so the ref couldn't count it. It ended in a DQ fuck finish.
Yeah, fuck you.
But also, what happened at Clash of the Champions was DDP wrestled Eddie Guerrero for the Battle Bowl belt, the Battle Bowl diamond ring, which I guess was on the line. I didn't think that was how that would work, but he lost to Eddie Guerrero. So this This would be like in AEW now if MJF won the Dynamite Diamond Ring and then lost it in a singles match.
Damn. Damn. Well, that's funny because he has had a singles match for the. Well, doesn't it culminate in a singles match like against MJF?
It has before, but like I'm talking,
Because that was like,
talking to like the as if he already won the ring and then they just have him lose it for no reason. It would be basically what happened here.
that's
Like,
so
why did
wild.
DDP lose the ring to Eddie? Eddie's not doing anything with it, but Eddie. And as a reminder, Eddie is a babyface right now, and DDP is a heel.
Do you
That
mean?
feels weird. Well, I'm still talking about Eddie as well. Eddie and
Oh,
Chavo
okay.
are faces, which doesn't feel right. Just like it doesn't feel right that DDP's a heel, but whatever.
That is all kinds of fucked.
DDP after the match against Eddie, diamond cutters him to shit, and then Chavo has come to his like defense, and then DDP and Chavo had a match on Dynamite, Nitro.
Nitro,
where Chavo actually beat DDP, and then DDP then hit him with the diamond cutter after the match.
of course.
The most interesting thing about this story is that DDP is figuring out in real time how to make the diamond cutter the coolest thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, he's like quickly learning that the move is dope as shit and everybody loves it. And he's almost figured out his hand sign. Like, right now he hits the diamond cutter and then he just throws his hands up. But last time on Nitro,
slowly
he put his hands together when he did the bang. And he is going to become the biggest babyface in WCW when he learns that you hit the diamond cutter and then you put your hands in the diamond and go bang.
Bro, it's crazy how you can go from being like a deeply hated heel to like top babyface in the company just by doing some goofy like shit with your hands that gets you over. See the Acclaimed.
See, Swerve, who got over because we do the Swerve dance with Nana.
True, but at least it was like a bit longer. Well,
And
actually, no, that's not true.
whose house? Swerve's house.
He's been doing Whose House from the top, so like that doesn't count as much. The Nana dance definitely like started to cement it. It did get him to a place where Swerve could cut a promo once he was turning face and just go, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
I may have broken into a man's house and draped his baby in my merch, but have you considered I'm sorry?
Have you considered maybe the baby had bad vibes?
I didn't even try to justify it. That was the thing. Motherfucker didn't even try to justify it in that promo. He just goes, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, so like DDP's supposed to be the heel, but have you considered that he comes out to fake Nirvana, comes out wearing sunglasses and smoking a cigar, and then he hits people with a diamond cutter and goes bang.
I have to say, the cigar really cements it. You know, if it would have been a cigarette, like, ooh, fucking heel move there. Like, why the fuck would you smoke a cigarette? But if you're
unless
rocking
your
a
name
goddamn...
is the Sandman, then the cigarette also it makes you super.
Okay, that is fair. Sandman gets a pass. He's got the right aura for it. But if you're rocking a cigar, top babyface is your destiny. I'm so sorry. If only Big Rick had been allowed to survive past season 1 of Lucha Underground, is all I'm saying. He was going places with that cigar.
Yeah, so DDP is quickly kind of figuring out his shtick that's going to make him a super babyface, even as he is a heel right now. And that's kind of the most interesting thing. I mean, Chavo is out here trying to carry it of like, you know, you assault one member of the Guerrero family, you get all of us. I'm doing this for my family honor. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Bang! Diamond cutter. Shut the fuck up.
DDP goes, fine speech. Bang!
Bang!
And it's over. It's so over for the Guerreros.
Yeah. So that is the Fall Brawl card. If you would like to watch along with us on this episode, you can do so at Peacock, WWE's streaming partners who they contract, all their shit out to at this point. And when we come back, we will be discussing the September 9th, 1996 episode of WCW Monday Nitro, the go home show to Fall Brawl. And we are back. We have finished the September 9th, 1996 episode of WCW Monday Nitro.
Austin, you say it is 1996, but I'm not entirely convinced that we've left the 80s in terms of WCW TV content.
I think that in terms of eras of TV where matches don't matter, peak WCW Nitro is an extremely underrated era for that. People like to hype up the matches on Nitro because they sort of care more about them as a sport. And you have the cruiserweights out here blowing minds and shit.
Oh my god,
But
yeah.
the matches, none of them fucking matter.
Bro,
they don't mean anything.
Has it been this egregious for the context stuff you've been watching up till now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It's not
I
really
don't remember
any
it being during our first. Could be mistaken. I wasn't nearly as savvy to how wrestling feels.
Yeah, it was more up. It was ups and downs, but by this point, they are absolutely full, and there is one thing that matters on this show.
Bro, I've made this joke in the past about there's exactly one thing on WCW, and that is the NWO. And I've always been like, maybe I'm being uncharitable. No. No. This episode exemplifies it. I'll kind of break it down by the end, but holy shit. Man, I came into this with in a good mood too. We open with, the Nitro opening, and I'm like, yeah, short, sweet, to the point. We get the giant exploding sign on what looks like the Universal backlot, or maybe it's the Hollywood Studios backlot.
It was probably the Hollywood Studios backlot, or yeah, I think it's because they filmed at Hollywood Studios for so long. I think they took that from. I think I took the B-roll for this from that.
It would absolutely make sense. It was Disney Hollywood Studios backlot because it looks like that kind of all the buildings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This residential area where somehow no lights are on and they're able to perfectly capture a
and they're all blowing up
moment on the street. Yeah, absolutely. No one's looking out their window going, "Hey, what the fuck?" I do get a kick out of though how the very first clip of the Nitro opening is classic babyface Hogan ripping his shirt.
They haven't updated the intro yet.
How?
I'm pretty sure Vader's still in the fucking thing. And by now, he is absolutely in the WWF getting jabronied by Shawn Michaels.
Oh, no. Not Vader. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then we open with the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Schiavone, who asserts that Nitro is, without a doubt, the #1 program on cable TV right now. Are they still winning the ratings war then currently?
Oh, they're definitely winning by now. We're in the midst of the 83 weeks.
Yeah. 83 weeks, baby. You love to see it.
Yeah, and then the living legend, Larry Zbyszko, is here to barely know what he's fucking talking about. That's
Bro, Zbyszko on commentary is insane. Dude is wild.
But they recap what happened last week with the Giant joining the NWO.
Larry Zbyszko
calls him the biggest traitor since Benedict Arnold.
Brother, are you forgetting about Hulk fucking Hogan?
I also thought of that. It's like, what about Hogan?
Yeah, Larry. Also, they show a replay of the Giants' betrayal, but they cut away before they do the actual betrayal. They cut away from it right as he starts to.
Yeah, they show him. He goes into choke slam. I think Haku is who he did.
Yeah, whose name I can't remember. Whose other name I can't remember. Ming. Yeah, he goes to choke slam Ming, and as he gets his hand around Ming's throat, they cut away like, oh yeah, this betrayal that we're not going to show you right now.
Brilliant video editing.
We'll get to brilliant video editing later.
Yeah, we get to our first match of the show, and by God, we open with Pat Tanaka.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for Pat Tanaka dressed in the most stereotypical Fu Manchu ass getup he's got to be the first wrestler out the gate.
I mean, I wasn't. I don't know if it was that bad. Like it looked more like a kind of karate frog shirt sort of thing. I feel like it could have been more stereotypical.
I guess. He is one half. He was one half. He's one half of the Orient Express, by the way. If you want to.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is where we've known.
Because he was just Tanaka in the Orient Express, wasn't he?
Yeah, they didn't because they had to they have to emphasize how Asian he is. So we can't have him have a we can't have everyone know his name is fucking Pat.
Pat.
That doesn't sound foreign and scary.
Ethnic pandering, God rest its soul.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, so it's Pat Tanaka versus Super Callow. This is a go home show.
With Super Callow's fit is absolutely fucking crazy.
Bro, what is that mask?
Dude has a lucha mask that has sunglasses and a ball cap sewed into it.
Wait,
so it's
the
like
sunglasses and ball cap were sewn in?
Yeah, Tanay brings that up on commentary when he's like, "Damn, that's a cool mask, am I right?"
Jesus Christ. Okay, well that's fucking wild. And like he's got like the shirt too or whatever. Like he
otherwise he dresses like he's in the Public Enemy.
Yeah, low key. Actually, that's actually a very good comparison.
They should have put Super Callow with the Public Enemy.
Yeah, I don't, add a little bit of that Latin spice. But yeah, so
this is WCW. The cruiserweights only hang out with other cruiserweights, so that's
100%.
Fucking happen.
Callow is here to get his reps in before facing Rey Mysterio at all in. I was about to say at Fall Brawl.
Shit.
Yeah, show God. Yeah. If only. He sees the opportunities presented by Ray's belt. I'm sure Callow finds himself to be in a slightly precarious spot as a WCW cruiserweight, but realistically speaking, having a belt can at least net him something. Maybe even you're a WCW cruiserweight. And life's tough, out here. But maybe even net him the attention of the ladies, if you will.
Who fucking cares about any of this stuff we're talking about
here?
It'll because the NWO straight team has got signs.
No, we gotta fucking enjoy my boy Pat Super Callow. He's got some bodacious shit going on.
The NWO Teamsters have got flyers.
No. We must talk about my boy. All of this put together, he's got going on. It's so fascinating. Like we could maybe put it together in one word. Super Callow is fragile.
Fuck off. I didn't see
so to be expedient to get to
you fucking asshole.
And, trying to get the ladies the aloe that he is.
Fucking you.
I don't know how to fit Docious into this.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna try to get the rest of the word in there, but
fragilistic expedient alodocious.
You're docious and full of shit, personally.
I was as soon as I thought about his name for more than 2 seconds, I was like, I have to find a way to make this work. And I did. Anyway, okay.
No, you did not.
Fuck you, actually. So yeah, I guess the NWO Teamsters are here. I guess. Yeah,
we have those now.
Poor unpaid ring crew interns that are dressed up in NWO shirts to pass out flyers.
Yeah, man, the flyers that say you ain't seen bad, but it's coming. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, oh yeah, great rhetoric from the NWO. Because who needs like an actual like fully established and stable team where you can just tease even more like new bullshit debuting down the pike. Just constant mystery boxes. That's fun,
They have
right?
already gotten deep into like all of the mystery around this team is more people joining. That is what we're gonna
Bro.
do.
They could have ended with Bischoff. And they didn't. They just kept going until they consumed the
Again,
entire fucking locker room. And man, my naivete, I made a note of like, oh, good, we're opening with the match where we can cut away to NWO bullshit.
you
I
thought
believe,
the match?
yes,
The match?
I believed, this is the token. We don't give a shit, so we're gonna cut away to NWO match. I was like, okay, we're getting it out of the way early. That's nice.
That was very naive of you to think that was
That
how that was
was
gonna work.
so very naive of me. So yeah, who
So
gives a shit? Pat
this match
Tanaka
goes the match goes 2
loses.
minutes. It's not terrible. It's just really
It
short.
it takes, hey, again, just like this seems familiar. Really talented workers in WCW getting sub 5 to like scramble to put on a match that exists. And it's you can't really
I
say
mean,
much about it because
hey,
it's 2 fucking minutes.
I remember the finish for being a goofy ass botch of something or other, as Pat Tanaka is trying to do a gut wrench suplex off the top rope, and then Callow just kind of falls on him, like with his dick in his face, and then pins him for the win. It's not as if he did a counter with a real move. He just falls on top of Pat Tanaka, and I guess that's enough for the
That is
midair, and that's enough for the win.
Look, sometimes you just fall right into the pin. I don't. That's why they call it a pinfall. I don't fucking know what to tell you.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, well,
So,
see, that's the best part is not the only botch of the night. Again, we'll get to it.
holy shit, I know exactly what match we're gonna have. I gotta have so much to talk about the botches and later in the night. But we go to the back where Mean Gene is interviewing Rick Steiner, and I got to be honest, my biggest takeaway from this interview, I've never heard Rick Steiner sound more like a petulant kindergarten.
Bro, why was this the whiniest promo I have ever fucking
Like,
heard?
normally the Steiners are weird lunatics by yelling a lot and sounding unintelligible.
Yeah.
Here, Steiner sounds like an idiot by just being like, "But I had him, Gene. I was gonna beat him. You saw it." That's his tone in
Where's
the voice.
Sting? Ask Sting. I was gonna beat him.
I was gonna beat him. I could have beat him. You saw it, which is very funny. I didn't really go into this in depth last time, but because we're bringing it up here. There was this whole big controversy last week when Nick Patrick DQ'd Lex Luger for accidentally bumping into him as part of a lockup with Steiner in a match.
Yeah.
What I didn't bring up is, and what Steiner doesn't bring up either, is that happened within the first 30 seconds of the match.
Brother,
that happened in the opening lockup. Which is, first of all, hilarious bait and switch of the Steiner brothers versus Sting and Luger in a tag match.
What the shit?
And second of all, it makes Rick Steiner's promo here even dumber because he's like, I had him beat, brother. The match went 5 seconds.
Yeah, because
nobody had anybody beat.
That we were going for a little bit by the time like Nick Patrick made the call. No, I guess not. Because again, why would we have wrestling on our wrestling show?
Yeah, so Rick Steiner's is being a whiny loser or whatever. Lex Luger comes in for no reason to just be like, to be like, hey, Rick, last week was fucked up, but I'm going to beat you this week or whatever. And that's
also,
it, I guess.
I don't know where Sting is. We'll get to that later.
We'll come back to that. Then the following announcement has been paid for by the new.
I will say, okay, so they cut to commercial, and then this was like they do the NWO ad at the tail end of commercial break, which I thought was cute. Again, like I was
Yeah.
starting this episode in pretty good spirits, like going in with some with some hope that like I'd get a pretty good episode of Nitro, or at least a decent episode of
Mhm.
Nitro out of it. So I was like, oh, that's a cute detail. They're doing an ad at the end of commercial break, making it look like it's part of the commercial break, and they're hawking their T-shirts.
The idea is that they paid for the ad space on TNT.
Yeah.
So WCW can't do anything about this.
Yeah.
But they're hawking the shirt. They finally have created the famous NWO T-shirt that
Little did they know
everybody
they
is gonna
just created
buy.
the show aside, like the shirt aside from the Austin 316 shirt that will never fucking go away.
Absolutely not. And Kevin Nash has this ridiculous voice going on. This whole in both NWO promos.
Both?
Like,
I think you mean all 10.
But he is like, buy the shirt now. Shirt today.
And then at the end, I think we got a line from the Giant. All proceeds go to the Ric Flair Retirement Fund, which
that was funny.
based back at you. What? What the hell? I'm NWO for life now.
Yeah. Which, hey, that also debuted on this episode. We'll get to that.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. Anyway, after that, we learn that Glacier, after 6 months of vignettes on Nitro about how blood runs cold and Glacier is coming, he has finally came on WCW Pro, which is their C show that airs on Sunday nights.
They have a C show?
They do. Right now it's Nitro, Saturday night Pro.
That's fucked up. That, man, the leftover shit from the territory days is crazy.
So,
but yeah,
yes.
Yeah, Blue Cane
Glacier is here, but not on Nitro after wasting months of our time waiting for him to show up.
Look, man, I'm just glad we finally have Blue Cane on WCW TV.
Zbyszko on commentary tries to hype up how dangerous Glacier is because he both knows kung fu and karate.
No. Not karate. Motherfucking Zbyszko says it like SpongeBob. Glacier knows karate. Also, one thing I want to shout out is after we had the NWO ad, we then cut to like a bunch of fucking kids in the crowd that are wearing homemade NWO shirts.
Yeah, because WCW didn't have the shirts until now. So
I really want to know if they started selling the shirts at their merch stands. Like, I guess you could justify it again with like Bischoff being NWO, but like it is really funny that these guys are like here supposedly taking over WCW, like the Rogues, and they just get their shit at merch stands anyway.
Yeah. Then I had the biggest jump scare imaginable in the next match. It's the fucking Quebecers.
It's the Quebecers are here, baby. I didn't know they had time in WCW.
Jacques Rougeau and PCO. Carl Ouellet.
Oh, fuck, that's PCO. I keep forgetting that's PCO.
Except they can't be called the Quebecers because that's their WWE name. So, the brilliant minds of WCW's creative team came up with the amazing French Canadians. But I knew immediately. I know these middle-aged Canadians anywhere. This is the Quebecers.
Yeah. And even one of them has the same goddamn name. Yeah, so Quebecers, nice little Quebecers jump scare. They come in. They're facing
the Nasty Boys.
I don't even remember. Oh yeah, they're facing the Ball Lickers.
Yeah. And then the
Quebecers want to sing. The Quebecers grab the mic. They want to sing the Canadian national
By the way,
anthem.
the NWO Teamsters have now infiltrated the crowd, and Larry Zbyszko steals one of the flyers, and that's why we know what's on them. But then they get the microphone, and then they sing the "Oh Canada," but also in French. They also sing it in French.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was.
And
then, yeah. Because if you just sing "Oh Canada," it's not foreign
And then
enough.
the Nasty Boys break it up, and they wrestle for
Yeah, of
3 minutes. And I got to be honest with you, I completely zoned out, entered a fugue state for this match.
I
I couldn't tell you a thing that happened in it. I remember the finish
Austin saw the
and the Nasty
Quakers,
Boy, and
he saw the Nasty Boys, and his brain just went, "I'm going to filter all of this for my own mental
I
health."
remember that at one point the Nasty Boys take the Quebec flag that the Quebecers brought to the ring and hit it over Jacques Rougeau's back.
See, it almost looked like they beat him on the head with it, which was crazy. There was one note that I
Mhm.
took prior to that. I did not take like that many match notes tonight, if
Mhm.
any. But fucking, we got this actually was kind of a cool move from the amazing French Canadians. So Rougeau and Olette are they basically do an assisted swanton where Olette goes up top to the top turnbuckle, and Rougeau reaches his arms up, grabs Olette arms, and then flips him onto the opponent like a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
swanton. That
yeah.
was kind of a neat like little tag team move. That was neat. But yeah, Nasty Boy won. Beans Olette in the fucking head with the fleur de lis flag, which looked nasty as shit. And then Nasty 2 gets the pin on him. One,
And
two,
then
three.
after the
Bada bing,
match,
bada
Mean
boom.
Gene is in the ring because the people gotta know. The people have been asking what side the Nasty Boys are on. First of all, I don't believe you. I refuse to believe that there is a single person watching WCW in 1996 who gives a shit what team the Nasty Boys are on.
Brothers really said, "We know you've all been asking." And
No,
everyone
we
just said,
haven't.
"No."
But
Who are you?
they they basically are like, we don't care. Actually, we don't care what the NWO does. Spoken like two guys who did not get admitted into the NWO.
Yeah,
We
well,
talked
fucking Mean Gene even acknowledges their friendship with Hogan. Mean Gene knows that they're ball lickers.
we talked about this last time when they tried to cut a promo at Disney, being like, Hogan, get us in, brother. We had a whole bit about how Hogan didn't let him in the NWO when we did the arc last time. And
Absolutely. Look, there just wasn't any room, brother.
yeah, and now they're like, we don't care. All we care about is the tag titles.
Cope. Fucking
Oh,
cope.
but whatever. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah,
They're
Brian Knobs is like, the Nasty Boys could give two hells about what the NWO does. We're in the WCW. Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you could give two hells about it.
whatever.
Yeah, who
Uh,
gives a shit?
then we get to our next match, which Scott Norton versus Sergeant Craig Pittman,
Yes.
which is listed, which Shivani calls a hold for hold match.
Yes, which is Shivani's weird ass way of saying submission match. Thank you.
Except he will later describe Scott Norton and Ice Train at Fall Brawl as a submission match. So he knows the word. He just calls it a hold for hold.
Shivani had a fucking brain fart on live TV and was like, the thing with the thing. That's
Yeah,
our
so
that's our
the
match.
thing here is that, as I said, it's at Fall Brawl, and Craig Pittman is managed by Teddy Long,
By
playa.
Teddy Long. Yeah, that was talking about a fucking jump scare. They said Teddy Long and I went, "Who?"
Yeah, before he
I had
was
to
the
like
Smack.
rewind like twice to
Yeah,
make sure I heard that
before
correctly.
before he was SmackDown's general manager, who made sure that to set up tag team main events playa and have guys go one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He was a manager in wrestling and a referee as well.
Yeah.
He's managing Pittman, and he also manages Ice Train. So the idea is that Pittman is supposed to soften up Scott Norton for Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a connection here. And it's crazy too. I looked it up. I was like, "Wait, holy shit. Teddy Long was a WCW manager," and I looked it up until 1996. Like his tenure will end this year in in
Oof.
in WCW. But apparently he was in WCW since 1985? Where?
Yeah, what was he? That's a good
He
question. What
started
was he
off as like
doing?
a ring boy, from what I gathered, like an
Okay, so
errand boy
that
or
might be
something.
why we haven't seen him.
And then he slowly worked his way up to like being a part-time ref and doing some other shit. But
Yeah, if he
like
was just a member of the ring crew or whatever, that might be why we've never seen him before now.
Teddy fucking Long is here. Okay, so that's so this hold for hold match, supposedly two technical masters
It
go to the
wasn't.
outside real fucking quick.
They do. It's not. It's 3 minutes with two big dudes who just know how to big dude beefy punch each other. So it's like not the worst with that in mind.
But also the
Uh,
false advertising. Come on now.
but anyway, the match ends where Scott Norton locks in a Fujiwara armbar, and Pittman will not give up. And
Mhm.
Teddy Long seemingly is like, "Don't give up." He's yelling at Pittman to not tap out. This causes Ice Train to come out and be like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck? He could get injured if he stays in that hold for so long. He should just give up." And Ice Train came down to the ring with a white towel and threw it in favor of Pittman. Reminder that this is still before tapping out, as we know it today, was commonplace.
Oh,
So
I
like
forgot about that.
we're almost there, because remember that was a big innovation from MMA specifically.
Oh yeah,
But
yup.
so we're close, but we're still not there. You still surrender to submission holds verbally at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, Ice Train throws in the white towel to end the match and get Scott Norton the win. I don't is this teasing and a babyface turn when this is all over? Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be.
I don't know. They play it kind of weird. It was just kind of chaotic.
He is in conflict with Teddy Long over this, because Teddy was
Yes.
like, "Don't surrender," and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck? No, he's done. He needs to quit before he gets actually
But
injured."
commentary's acting like incensed about this. They're like, what? Why would he do that? The Pittman didn't tap out or didn't call for the surrender. Like, what? Why would he do that? So again, it's played in a
Let's see,
weird
but then
way.
he gets in Scott Norton's face, and they do some jaw jacking, square up before, because
Yeah,
pay-per-view on Sunday.
of course.
In the back, Mean Gene is with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Lex Luger. But the question is, where is Sting?
The
Because they
question
don't.
that Ric Flair specifically is very insistent on asking. Luger,
Nobody knows.
where's Sting?
Nobody knows where Sting is. Now, Luger claims that Rick told him he saw Sting earlier in the back, but Luger's not seen him either. And, Arn and Flair are questioning, if Sting is going to show up. Arn, no, the other Horsemen come in before Arn has
Yep,
like the good promo of the segment.
I know.
Mongo and Benoit come in, and Mongo is like, "I told you what happens is the ship ain't even sailed yet, and the rats are already fleeing off."
Outstanding. Bro, Ric Flair in 1996 is so fucking different from like early WCW 80s Ric Flair. Like, man is in
Ric
fucking
Flair by
like,
now has already kind of become a parody of himself.
and like, dude is now in like polos and dad khakis.
He is. He dresses like a dad,
He
and he just like twitches like a maniac.
Bro, I literally by the end of this promo call it he starts flopping around like a fucking muppet.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's
Benoit
in
Benoit shows that he can't do promos yet, but he does ask, "Where is Sting?" And Luger
Luger
can't give good answers. And
Luger Luger
Arn,
Luger tries to be like, I've been looking for him, brother. I don't know. And Flair fucking says, "Do me a favor, will you? Tell your story walking." The
what?
what? What does that mean, Flair?
Arn
Also, I
takes
keep
them.
forgetting that Luger is a former horseman.
He is. He was in the Horsemen for a while, which I will talk when we get to the sting of it all. I'll talk more about it. But just remember that this is like five horsemen here
I
in
know,
this
yeah.
interview.
Also, as a sidebar, I really don't like how much Benoit looks like Hangman Adam Page in this. Like his side profile, he's got like the fucking like slick back hair that's curly at the bottom. He's
Mhm.
got the stubble. He's kind of got like that facial shape and physique, and I was like, I don't like this.
He does.
physical
Benoit wouldn't know anything
similarity.
about cowboy shit. We're fine.
Oh, that is true. But it was like it was who. But yes, Arn Anderson actually gives a good promo.
I loved Arn's promo where
It was great.
he's like, I called up the hospital at Winston-Salem and got a room saved for me because I think I'm probably gonna need it. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could
Yeah,
just call up a hospital and be like, reserve a room.
so yeah, Arn Anderson has realistic expectations for the American healthcare system.
But he's
Alternatively,
apparently
alternatively, it makes me imagine he's checking into like some swanky 5-star hotel that only serves beef Wellington, or is 5-star hospital. I mean, that only serves beef Wellington in the cafeteria. Like real top tier shit.
yeah.
The petri dishes are made out of marble. All that good stuff.
Sure, but he's like, is because when you get into the cage, that's what is gonna happen. And he's like, Hogan, you tried to take me out with a chair, and I'm still upstanding. So that means my guts is better than your talent. And he's like, you tried to take my eyes out with paint. You should have tried battery acid because that's what I would have done.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Casual reminder that I am actually insane.
I love how when Arn cuts these promos, it suggests he is a complete violent sociopath. This is up there with when he was inspiring Cody Rhodes and told him that if a carjacker came to his car, he'd pull out the Glock and blow his brains out on the sidewalk.
For the record, Glock Anderson is my favorite version of Arn Anderson.
This promo felt like Glock Anderson. He said, you should have tried to blind me with battery acid because that's what I would have done.
Glock Anderson has truly been with us this entire time. He comes out at very special moments.
Yeah, and then, you got Ric Flair being like, woo!
Yeah.
Hogan!
By the end, the whole interview...
I'm alive!
Yeah, by the end, the whole interview devolves into a shouting match. And to your point, Flair is just a parody of himself at this point. Ric Flair is just wooing at everyone. Like, everyone else is shouting at each other like actual words. And Ric Flair's just going around the room, woo, 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 woo.
And it's actually going to somehow get even worse with Flair as the years go on. He will somehow become more of a parody.
And somehow gets worse with Flair in this episode.
Yeah, anyway... After that will not be the last we hear from the Horsemen tonight.
Or from this whole fucking angle. Oh boy, is it not the last we will hear.
We do get a recap of the DDP Eddie Guerrero thing. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about there.
I don't remember if you mentioned it in the front half. I didn't realize that DDP took fucking Nick Patrick's belt to whip Chavo.
I didn't really pay attention to that part. I didn't really know. I didn't realize
DDP fucking took Nick Patrick's whole belt off of his whole pants to whip Chavo Guerrero. That man is fucked up in the head.
It's just so funny. This feud is just so funny where DDP is just doing heinous shit to the Guerreros, and you can see in the back the audience like throwing their hands up like DDP does when he hits the diamond cutter.
Absolute. They're like, wait. This magical new formation that I've never considered with my hands and arms before. Oh, pretty.
They're gonna have,
and in the meanwhile, DDP's just actively trying to murder the Guerrero family. He
is gonna get turned babyface real soon because this heel thing is not working anymore.
I mean, he's good at playing heel. Again, took Nick Patrick's whole fucking belt, and Larry Zbyszko then points out, because Nick Patrick's here to ref this match, and Zbyszko's like, yeah, look at Nick Patrick now in the ring, he's not even wearing a belt. fucking Nick Patrick knows that his belt is no longer safe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
so it's Juventud versus some
Yeah.
motherfucker named Joe Gomez. Oh yeah,
the
this is a go home show, all right.
Desperado Joe Gomez.
Desperado? Is he a guy? Do we know him?
He is a routine jobber loser on WCW Nitro, I'll tell you that.
You absolutely
I know this
hate to
fucking
see
dude. So this match is 2 minutes long, and I remember like 3 different botches. So that's about how that went.
I only got one of them.
Okay, so the first thing, I'm sure I know which one you caught, but look, the match kind of sucks because Juventud is flying all around the ring, and Joe Gomez is not athletic enough for that. He is not a good base for a luchador.
Nope.
So Joe Gomez is standing to get, like, Hoovy is gonna do a springboard like 450, kind of like what Ray does to win matches, actually. Except either Joe Gomez is so out of position, or Juventud it fucks up the jump. Juventud does not connect with Joe Gomez, and the reason I know that is because they quickly cut away to a different camera angle to try to hide this at the point of contact. But you can tell he didn't touch Joe Gomez with a drop kick.
God. Oh
then
no.
The second one, I'm sure this is the one you know.
Yeah.
So Joe Gomez is on the apron. Juventud is on the apron, around the ring post. Different, like, it's a corner.
They're kitty corner from each other.
So Juventud tries to do a Hurricane Rana outside in.
Yep.
First of all, I'm trying to imagine how that move would work, and I already don't think it would go that great under the best of circumstances. Because the thing is like, in a Hurricane Rana, you're pulling your opponent downward. Whereas to get springboard into the ring, you got to go up then down.
I will say, commentary tried to frame it as more of a standard head scissors than a Rana.
But even still, that runs into the same problem of, like, I just don't see how that would work in a way that doesn't look stupid.
I feel like if you got it just right, your opponent can flip themselves over the rope.
There's like a perfect window where it doesn't look stupid.
Yes.
This was not that.
No.
Juventud does the entire Hurricane Rana. He leg scissors, he does the whole thing, and then Joe Gomez just flips over the rope after the fact.
To be fair, Juventud like loses his grip on the head scissors after like a second. So he kind of eats shit, and then Joe Gomez just kind of looks and just fucking flips his ass over the top rope of the ring.
And then the third thing that I mentioned that's a botch is Joe Gomez on the top rope, and Hoovy goes up with him and is trying to set up like a top rope head scissor or whatever. And he does the thing where, like, he gets pushed off, except Joe Gomez clearly doesn't do that. He clearly doesn't do anything. So Hoovy, just for no reason, backflips off the top rope, and then Joe Gomez goes for a flying nothing, and Hoovy goes for a drop kick and gets maybe 1 foot on him.
Brother. Man, I wonder why Joe Gomez never made it big in this industry. Oh, brother.
I used to use the term I don't know if I've explained before, but the flying nothing is a derogatory term for when a wrestler jumps off the top rope or springboard or whatever to seemingly no purpose, like in terms of like what move they're trying to do, because the whole point is that they're going to get countered by their opponent. Like, so their opponent's going to hit them mid-air, and so they're not doing anything offensively. They're trying to be safe, and that's fair, but it looks stupid. Like when I say Joe Gomez did a flying nothing, what I mean is he basically just jumped off the top rope, tried to land straight forward to be a moving target for Juventud to drop kick. He wasn't trying to do any sort of offensive maneuver towards Juventud.
Yeah. But yeah, not exactly the strongest match showing.
And the finish was also almost a fucking botch.
Wait, really?
I mean, Juventud barely didn't slip off the top rope because he hits a springboard corkscrew splash known as a hilo con plancha.
Yep.
But he springboards to the top rope, almost slips off, and just barely has the distance on the jump to get to hit Joe.
Fucking hell.
An absolute disaster of a match.
This one's also kind of on Hoovy too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He didn't exactly have his strongest showing here either. I also want to point out that I noticed during this match on the floor we have 3 dudes who have WCW painted across their torsos, but in an impressive move, each one of them has found a different way to hold up their shirts to expose the letters painted on their torsos. One dude's got his shirt doing the thing where you put it all the way up, like over the back of your neck. One dude's holding up with both hands. One dude's only using one hand. To appreciate the variety there, like a little something different for each one. But yeah, so Mean Gene comes out to fucking lie to us and say very good match from Juventud Guerrera, and then he looks and Juvy's just kind of like wandering backstage, and Gene kind of looks at him and goes, "Who just kind of wanders around here?" Gene.
Mean Gene, brother, stop burying Juventud. He just
more like
got here.
Bullying Gene, fuck.
So Mean Gene interviews Nick Patrick. This has been a weekly segment for a while now.
Oh, good.
As he once again is like, Nick, do you want to explain to me why you DQ'd Lex last week? And he's like, bro, he put his hands on me. He attacked me. I had to do it. Mean
They
Gene is
show
like,
the replay. It's clearly a bomb.
It was clearly an accident. What is your problem? Yeah. And he is like, everybody is turning against me. Why is Lex Luger not suspended? If he did that to any other referee in any other sport, he would be suspended. And he basically tries to go, no puppet, you're the puppet, Mean Gene, as you are stirring the people against me. And I haven't done anything wrong.
But no, this is the crazy thing. Fucking Mean Gene is trying to dispute his claims, and while describing how clear it is that Luger did not maliciously attack him, he fucking says, they used it in a court case last year. The preponderance of evidence is clear. I think brother just fucking made an O.J. Simpson trial reference, because I looked it up and it was 95. We're in 96. I think brother just fucking O.J. Simpson.
If the DQ is legit, you must acquit.
Oh my god. Fuck, I'm surprised they didn't just go straight there.
Yeah, but Nick Patrick says Gene keeps stirring the pot when he's just doing his job.
Yeah,
and
you're saying
he's like, what about that giant that is coming for our WCW? Our WCW.
No, Austin. You missed the beautiful way he phrased this as he insinuates that Mean Gene is trying to fuck on him. He talks of how in through the back door slipped the giant. And then he starts to like make a basketball reference, like slam dunk.
Slam
shatter the backboard.
Shattered the backboard.
But then and puts it right down our throat. WCW's throat.
Yeah.
Racing.
Nick Patrick once again denies all allegations. We go to the parking lot.
No. I gotta finish out this promo. I'm so sorry, because just this whole thing is fucking wild. Mean Gene insinuates that Patrick is getting paid off by the NWO. He knows this because he didn't just get off the turnip truck. Oh, Gene, you little fucking weirdo. And Mean Gene's like, you got a new house, you have a new car, and Nick Patrick is then like, but have you considered, Mean Gene, that you also have a car? And Mean Gene's like, what? And then Nick Patrick,
actually, you are getting paid off by the NWO.
and then Nick Patrick threatens litigation, and Mean Gene immediately backs the hell off. But yes. So,
we
out in the parking lot.
Which is also, it's pouring rain today.
Which I have to say creates a nice atmosphere for this whole thing. I do appreciate that.
They're out in the parking lot, and you'll never believe this. The NWO is here, and they're putting flyers in the people's cars.
I do appreciate that it's the actual NWO. Like, someone went out there knowing that their car was touched by Hulk Hogan himself, you know?
It's Hogan, Hall, Nash, and Giant. Meanwhile, Ted DiBiase, under his cute little blue umbrella that he has the whole episode,
Aww.
is talking to a mystery person in the limousine. Who could it be? Don't worry. Don't change that channel. Don't turn on Raw that's coming on in like 5 minutes. Don't turn that dial. Stay to Nitro.
Also, don't worry. It's not Larry Zbyszko's limo. Larry Zbyszko wants us to know that his limo is white.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry.
We get an ad for WCW Saturday Night, whatever.
Which, question about that. So when do they switch off those B and C shows and go to Thunder?
Thunder comes in 97.
And our Saturday night and whatever the fuck the Sunday show is, Pro, are those done
98.
to
WCW
coincide with
Thunder is
Thunder?
90 is WCW Thunder is 1998. WCW Saturday Night went until August 2000.
Oh shit!
It just
So
became
Saturday
the C
night
show.
became the B show. The
It
C
became
show.
the C show after Thunder. WCW Pro ended September 98. So actually,
Okay.
there was a 9-month period where you had Nitro, Thunder, Saturday Night, and Pro.
That's fucked up. That's fucking
That is
insane.
too much Nitro. That is too much WCW.
That is a little too much NWO.
How much not even NWO, but like those the C shows don't get NWO stuff. They get random mid-card matches. Like what people think the worst of Rampage is these days, that was like Saturday Night and Pro every fucking week.
Damn.
Dudes, just mid-carders having matches.
Do I enjoy Saturday Night and Pro? Because I think Rampage is a fun little gabagoo.
Yeah, but it's like even worse than like
dear.
There's not as much story stuff as Rampage has. It is,
and also I wouldn't be surprised if the work wasn't as good after seeing what I saw episode of Nitro here. But yeah, we're here for Steiner versus Luger is happening. Rick Steiner out here in his U of M varsity jacket. Go Bucks.
Yeah, go Bucks. I was just gonna say before we move on, my favorite part of like WCW Saturday Night / Pro during this era of time is the clip of Jim Duggan has a match, and it Shivani and Heenan are on commentary for it, and Shivani says that Jim Duggan is college educated, which is technically true. Bobby Heenan thinks this is so funny. He spends the entire rest of the match giggling and not doing commentary at the idea of Hacksaw Jim Duggan having a college education.
I mean, you know what, Heenan? Same.
Yeah. Anyway, Steiner and Luger are here. The first half of the match. This match is 7 minutes long. It's the second longest on the show.
Yes.
The first match, I feel like you could tell that we were about to transition to the second hour, because the first half of the match is them doing boring rest holds on each other until the fireworks went off for hour 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, which is fucking insane. They set off these fireworks right overhead in the middle of the goddamn match.
WCW does not give a fuck about that. Mid-match, mid-promo, they don't care. It's hour 2. Fire up the fireworks.
They
don't fucking pace the show around the fact that there's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is about to be another really short match if we're about to start hour 2. No, they just firework it up in the middle of the fucking... I also do like the little, like, this is cute. They have a little, like, dynamite graphic on the bottom right corner of the screen to count down the last 20 seconds to hour 2. Wait a minute, dynamite? Gaga!
Hold on.
Oh my...
Yes.
Yeah, I do always get a kick out of, like, the hour 1, hour 2 divide of 90s TV. Like, because is this, like... So, I know for, like, Raw... come the Attitude Era, it was like, you know, the war zone.
Raw's war in the war zone.
We can get violenter and raunchier. Was it a similar thing for WCW, or was it just we're making a big deal out of it because Nitro's going on air right now?
Yeah, I think they just did that because like they want to make a big deal of it because at this point in time, Raw is still 1 hour.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah.
Nitro is on first for an hour, unopposed. So and that will happen again when Raw goes to 2 hours, but Nitro goes to 3. That will happen again where Nitro has an unopposed hour. They will play those games a lot of trying to like give, even when they're both 2 hours, Nitro will have a time where they like try to air 1 hour earlier so that we get in first.
Bro. It's so fucking
Even
crazy too. Like the imagining I don't know if I could do 3-hour nitros. Like I think 3-hour Raws are bad, but like if this is what a 2-hour nitro feels like, I don't know if I can do an extra hour of this.
yeah, Raw doesn't go to Mondays for 2 hours until February of '97.
Oh shit.
So like there's still 1 hour here. Also, Nitro also liked to go on air 5 minutes early if they could,
Huh.
so that they could open the show with Bischoff reading off all of the spoilers for Raw, for the taped Raw shows. He would
Bruh.
do that. They would do that. They would do that shit too.
I thought that was just a Shivani thing. Holy shit.
No, that was just the last time they ever did it because it went really badly. But
Because
like
it went fucking south for him.
from episode 2 of Nitro, the first Nitro where Nitro and Raw are airing on the same day, but Bischoff on commentary does a rundown of every single match that happened on Raw and says who wins.
Brother.
And he's like, all right, now that we got that out of the way, you don't have to change the channel. And you can stay right here on WCW.
That is so fucking insane. I wonder why they don't have that footage on Peacock.
No, they do.
They
Like
do?
this is one they just didn't do that this week. But like
Oh my god, we just happened to drop in on one of the weeks they didn't do that. That's great.
yeah,
So have
but
you
no, you
seen it
can watch.
then?
Yeah, I've seen the clip. I've seen the episodes where he's like, "Yeah, well, guess what? The big match the Heartbreak Kid beat the big guy Sid Vicious with the sweet chin music." Yawn.
Bruh. Fucking, Eric Bischoff, much as I dislike that man, gotta admit the sheer
No,
insanity. Gotta
no,
respect.
it was funny. It was funny him being like, "Well, you don't gotta go to the other channel. If you're thinking of changing that dial, don't. It's a week. It's been in the can. It's a week old. I'll tell you the results right now."
Uh, the good old days. That's incredible. Bro, Raw,
Yeah.
like, really fucking duded themselves for a little while, not being live, only being 1 hour. Like, actually fucking crazy.
Vince McMahon didn't have unlimited Turner Bucks to be live every week. So
That's true.
that's how that happened.
The unlimited Turner Bucks giveth, the unlimited Turner Bucks taketh away.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Anyway, so point being, once they hit the top of the hour, Rick Steiner and Luger actually start doing more shit. They start hitting each other with big moves and stuff.
what? Impossible.
But then, as Luger is calling for the torture rack,
I
in
know.
runs
I was
Nick
like, oh
Patrick.
shit. Like,
In
and
runs Nick Patrick.
fucking commentators making a big deal out of it. They're like, oh man, putting someone as big as Steiner in the torture rack. And then, yeah, Nick Patrick fucking runs in and is calling Luger to the back.
He's like, dude, no,
Okay.
something's going on in the parking lot. And then
Bro,
so Rick wins by count out as Luger runs off
I
to the
was
parking
so
lot.
excited to like keep this match going. I was like, damn, maybe we'll get like a 10 or even a 15 out of this. Like, okay,
We'll get a 10 later. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. Will we? Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the other tag match later goes 10. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
anyway, we
And
cut back
what
to the
an
parking
experience
lot.
that will be. But yes.
We cut back to the parking lot, and for some and Bish and DiBiase is still shouting at this dude in the limo. And then, in a voice that clearly was 80 yard in for this video package.
I know. I thought it was like commentary at first. I was so fucking confused.
His voice is coming allegedly out of the limo. And it's like, And it seems like a soundbite that Sting said at an earlier date, probably about whether or not he can trust Lex Luger, considering that all of his storylines with Lex Luger revolve around, can Sting trust Lex Luger? Oh, wait, the answer is no. But
I
for
wonder
some
why he
reason,
would do something like this to Lex Luger.
oh, I'm gonna get to that when we get to the fucking Horsemen comeback.
Yep.
But so allegedly, Sting is in this limo, and everyone is like, "What the fuck do you mean? It's no way, no, no, no!" And then in comes Luger. This is so funny, him being in his little ring gear in the pouring rain, and he's like, "Hey, where's Sting?" or whatever. I don't know. He yells at DiBiase. DiBiase's like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't know anything." And then popping out of the limo, oh my God, it's Sting! And he jumps Luger. It's Sting! I want to give him credit on this. He beats down Luger. I want to give him credit on this. I've seen people say it's super obvious that this isn't the real Sting. And like, I'm gonna actually kind of disagree.
I also disagree.
I think you can kind of tell he's a little too short to be Sting, but I think that the way they present him here, it's actually really believable that this is Sting. Like, he looks enough like Sting to, like, if I didn't already know that it's not, I could have been convinced that Sting.
I actually did not know that this was not Sting. They got my ass. Woo.
Boom.
Damn.
Yep.
I did not know that. Who is this?
This is Jeff Farmer, who he's just a small-time wrestler who becomes the NWO Sting impersonator for as long as they play into the idea that that Sting is the NWO for real.
And bro, honestly, the rain really helping obscure.
I think it does help obscure what would. It might be
timing on this rain is like they couldn't have gotten better fucking conditions for this set of like pre-tapes or whatever. Like, thanks God. That's just some solid work right there. Little helpful thing there.
Sting jumps Luger. All the NWO beat the shit out of Luger. Most of them run off into the limo or something.
Also, no, not just all the NWO. The fucking limo driver gets in on beating up Luger.
The chauffeur gets in on. That was the funniest part. The chauffeur gets in on the beatdown.
Like, I thought he was like a wrestler, and I'm like, who is that? No, it's just the fucking driver.
Yeah, so they start beating down on Sting until eventually it's just like Sting, DiBiase, and the chauffeur. The other four in the NWO have ran off. So they're just beating down Luger until Luger throws off the chauffeur. You see the chauffeur like rolling all the way across the parking lot.
Chauffeur takes a fucking bump on the concrete. What?
And then Sting and DiBiase, who DiBiase is still holding his umbrella, they book it after Sting breaks out of there. And so Sting, Lex then looks like a fucking moron, as after Lex gets out of the vehicle, it gets out of the beatdown, he tries to find the limousines, find the NWO in the limousines, except there are two limousines parked right here. That is where the NWO's limousines are. They're right in front of you, Lex. He checks one in the front, seemingly can't find them. I don't know how. And then he just walks past the second one and is just mad and frustrated that he lost them.
Oh my God.
How did you lose them? They are in the limousines next to you.
They're right there, brother. Yeah, well, Lex has not always been, as we can tell from his belief that this man who is supposedly his best friend is actually him and not an impersonator, even though he got a close-up look at this fucking guy's face. I don't think Lex is exactly the most observant of boys. Yeah. I'm going to just throw that out there.
So then, after that happens, we get a long recap of every single NWO bit from the last, 2 weeks, including the thing with Sting moments ago.
Yeah, which
They're
Bischoff
really playing to the people who would be tuning in at the top of the hour.
Oh my god, they just do that for the rest of the fucking hour. It's crazy. They're like,
Yeah.
just in case someone gets bored and switches over from Raw, here's a reminder every 10 minutes. Bischoff is shocked and appalled that Sting would do this. Heenan is out here being like, won't somebody think of Nick Patrick? Which my response is, I am too much. Thank you. Moving on. Apparently on last week's Nitro, we had the whole the whole Nick Patrick calling the DQ on Sting and Luger, and apparently you did not mention it took an entire commercial break for Sting and Luger to chase Nick Patrick through the backstage area and somehow did not catch up to him because they refused to break into anything more than a power walk for some reason, allowing Nick
a
Patrick
little bit
to make it outside and run away in a limo. Brother, I feel like you could have stopped this at any point. Also, damn, trash throwing really became like a whole meme for the NWO, didn't it? Like every NWO segment that's in ring, the audience is just chucking their trash in there. That just became like a whole thing. I talked about how cool and like unprecedented it was when they did it for Hogan. Guess they just kept doing it.
Yeah, after they do all the recap stuff, we come back from commercial break, and the WCW locker room, all the jobbers are here. It's all the jabronis that have wrestled so far. And people who will wrestle later tonight. But you see like Rick Steiner, you see one of the Nasty Boys, you see the Quebecers, you see the Faces of Fear.
All like Avengers assembled here for some reason.
This is Avengers assembled, but like the B team.
But from Asylum Studios.
From Asylum Studios. Also, they're all just aimlessly walking around the parking lot trying to find the NWO.
They're literally just calling out for them. They're like, NWO, where are you?
They're playing Marco Polo with them.
Literally,
that's gonna work.
Fucking. Also, you did not mention we got NWO shirt ad number 2 after our last week's Nitro recap.
Buy the shirt.
I love how we get a shot where the Giant has a camcorder and he's filming the side of Kevin Nash's face in extreme close-up, and we just never actually see that angle in the ad.
We don't cut to the angle that Big Show that the Giant was filming.
He just wanted to help, but they didn't have anything for them to do, so they gave him a dead camcorder. They're like, here, help us film.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, maybe the in-ring stuff is going to turn around on this episode. Because it is Billy Kidman versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, goodness gracious, my favorite boy is here. We're going to have a good match. It's going to be great. And it's 5 seconds long.
It ends in 1:38.
And it's gone.
Fuck.
God fucking damn it. Fucking Bischoff on commentary calls the cruiserweight division and Rey in particular a bright spot in the current state of the company, which,
I guess that's true, but it's a very small bright spot.
Yeah, and also, sure would be ashamed if anything happened to that bright spot of Rey Mysterio. Sure would be ashamed if you did something dumb, like turn him heel and unmask him. Wouldn't that just be tragic, Eric Bischoff?
Anyway, after that, we get the Faces of Fear come out, and by God, it's like it's ECW 94. It's the Public Enemy.
The Public Enemy is here.
They are still doing the table gimmick, which we'll get into the logic of that. But might I just want to point out,
do WCW matches not have like fucking rules? Do they not have?
They should. They are supposed to. That Public Enemy matches though don't.
There are a few matches on this show that would make you believe otherwise. I think there's shenanigans in a later match too.
There is. That's right. Yeah. But also, first, this match is fine. Just a lot of brawling. The cool shit doesn't happen till the latter half of it. After they get all the fucking distractions out of the way, because
oh my God.
First of all, we get the fucking Leprechaun. I didn't
Yeah,
think,
what the? I
I didn't
blink and
think
all
we
of a
were in the
sudden,
right. I didn't think we were in the right time period for the Leprechaun, for Braun the Leprechaun.
yeah, what the shit was this? I blink and there's a fucking leprechaun chasing Jimmy Hart around the ring, and then I blink again and he's fucking gone. What?
Yeah, this is one of the least remembered members of the Dungeon of Doom.
What? There was a fucking
Braun the Leprechaun in the Dungeon of Doom.
Nothing says doom to me more than a fucking leprechaun.
And yet, he's not even the least well-known member of the group that I saw in this episode.
How?
Because I at least knew who he was. There's a guy later that I had to look up.
I might know who you're talking about. Actually, we'll see.
Sure.
We'll see when we get there. I also do want to point out, Public Enemy. Johnny Grunge is wearing a fucking hockey jersey that has 69 on the back, and Rocco Rock's hockey jersey is just 2 zeros, which I think is supposed to be boobs. I assume.
Yeah,
Probably.
they should have committed to 420. Fuck it.
I fucking wish.
420
But yes.
69, baby.
Also, I wanna point out via commentary, Bobby Heenan. They're still, because God forbid we actually talk about the matches going on. Bobby Heenan is still fixating on this whole thing. He's like, I got no love one way or the other for Sting. And Eric Bischoff goes, "You've got no love for anybody, Bischoff. Have you seen how shamelessly he flirts with Gorilla Monsoon? There's clearly one man in this world that Heenan has deep, burning, passionate, lustful love for. He's not here at the moment, but he is. He does have love for one man, Bischoff, and I will not have you slandering his name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But also, fuck this match. We gotta go talk to the Horsemen again.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Thank God. I was starting to get worried that I'd be watching more than 3 minutes of wrestling at a time.
And so Arn Anderson says he is at a loss for words. He's speechless. He is in shock that Sting would do this. I mean, if there's one thing you can count on, is that Sting is WCW. And like Flair and the Lex and the Horsemen have completely bought in. They have no doubts that Sting has betrayed them all. And I gotta be honest, I do understand why you would think that. Like, in a vacuum, let's review what happened on this episode.
Yes.
And also for context, remember that we are a week past from the Giant, another top babyface in the company, betraying them for the NWO. 2 months after Hogan, the top babyface, betrayed them to join the NWO.
Yeah, there is a precedent for these things, at least right now.
The first hour of the episode is devoted to being like, where's Sting? Nobody's seen Sting. Lex can't find him. He's only heard that, like, hey, he heard from another guy that, that Sting was around, but he hasn't talked to him. The Horsemen haven't seen him. And then we have this weird shit in the parking lot. And while, yes, that it sounded pretty ADR'd, that wasn't Sting's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was, but he wasn't saying that live in the moment.
Yes.
We get this. They go out. Lex goes outside, and a guy who looks like Sting, face paint and all, attacks him and runs off in the NWO limo.
Correct.
To me, I think it's not unreasonable in this episode, and I want to emphasize in this episode, because spoilers, this arc is going to have a lot of conversations about whether or not Sting is with us or against us. So I want to say right here, right now, it does make sense that they're questioning Sting, what Sting is up to, because
correct,
the real Sting apparently just didn't show up tonight.
Yes. So, and earlier, I will say, Larry Zbyszko made the pretty reasonable point that, well, Sting's not scheduled for any matches. He's under no obligation to be here tonight. Like, maybe he's just fucking chilling at home ahead of blood and guts, war games. Stop being so paranoid.
Yeah, but it is. I don't think it's unfair for these guys to jump to the conclusion that
No,
maybe
not at all.
Sting is not on their side. I will say, though, they all take this really offended fucking tone about it. And guys, this is Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Lex Luger. No men in wrestling history have been more disloyal to Sting than these three men.
Yeah, this is. I always forget about how much Luger tries to like fuck over Sting constantly because like I was fixated on like right now they are being buddies
Mhm.
in theory and they have been buddies in the past, even if Luger betrays him every fucking time. But like it was wild to see Arn Anderson, Glock Anderson himself being shocked and appalled TM that the only constant in WCW turned NWO. Like, I get like that the NWO is so awful that even the Horsemen have to turn face over it, but holy Jesus, brother! Up until like up until Hogan turned, like you guys were the fucking arch heels, and Sting was the arch babyface. Like I would argue even more than Hogan because pre NWO, Hogan was deeply fucking unimportant to WCW in terms of like what he presented story wise. Sting was like the protagonist
Hogan was too busy fucking around with his buddies to
yeah,
like he was fighting the dungeon. Sting fought the Horseman, Hogan fought the dungeon.
absolutely.
You can decide for yourself who comes
With
off more important that way.
Hogan fought the faction that had a leprechaun in it. That's about all you need to know.
You
But
be the judge.
yeah, so like I get why they're trying to play it like this, but it does start to read as a little like, okay, we're being melodramatic
It's a
here,
little
guys.
hypocritical, I think, that
Yes.
you're all this up in arms about it.
And like if they lampshaded it, that would be different. Like they're like if they were ever like, look, man, we're some fucking assholes, but like we still love this company and Sting is a gateway through which we can get our company back and we are concerned about this. But no, it's just like pearl clutching.
It
Guys.
is finger wagging that does not feel right for the Horsemen to do. Uh everyone gets their shit in is basically Lex is like, I'm gonna go find Sting. I'm gonna go find him and figure this out. And Luger and then the Horsemen is like, we're Sting or no Sting, we're going to War Games and we're gonna win. And then we finally cut back to the ring, which by the way, this is something I noticed is that this promo starts in picture with the match, which
Yeah.
means that I noticed in the picture there was a spot where the Barbarian did a top rope belly to belly suplex to Rocco Rock.
That's fucking insane. What?
But who cares about any of that? The
Bro.
Horsemen are bemoaning Sting as a traitor.
I get that this is our A plot and we only have so much time, but brother, why not just cut one of these other useless fucking matches that go for 2 minutes anyway and just cut a couple of them and run this promo in their place? Don't fucking intersplice it with one of the only actually like decent matches on this card. Holy hell.
Uh and then, funny enough, right after they show that in picture, they cut off picture in picture, so that you're just watching the promo.
I know! What the shit?
Uh,
Guys!
but then
I
they
hate
cut back
this
to
so
they
much.
cut back to the match, and then the match from there does kind of fucking bang.
I
They're
know.
beating the shit out of each other. They do really things get kicking where they set up the Public Enemy sets up a table on the outside,
Mhm.
and the Barbarian actually beats up Rocco Rock and lays him on the table, and Jimmy Hart tries to hold his legs down,
I will
and
say it is the most
Barbarian
impotent leg hold down I've ever seen. Jimmy's
and
just like,
he blatantly lets go when it's time for the spot.
oh, 100%. Brother.
But then Barbarian tries to jump from the top rope to the outside to put him through a table. Rocco rolls off the table, and
Yeah, and
Barbarian
Barbarian
goes
eats
through it.
shit.
They're going, and then the Johnny Grunge gets the other table, and they got the table in the ring. The ref is watching all of it. Why is this not a DQ? I don't know.
I don't know. Also, brother, what the fresh hell has this table seen? This is the most beaten up fucking table I have ever
scuffed
seen.
ass table.
And like pre-spot, this table has been. Do they just have traveling tables that, like, if one doesn't break, they're like, all right, I guess you're coming with us to the next one. Save money on tables.
I don't know. They pulled a table that feels like it's been through a few garage sales.
Bro.
So this is crazy to me how this ends though. They were actually doing. I don't know if you have any real match notes.
Nah.
But like,
I have match notes for the end.
It was a fun enough brawl and it's over 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, but who gives a shit? We got Horsemen, baby.
But then we get to the finish where the Public Enemy puts Meng through the table. And you think that would be it, right? They put him through a table in the middle of the fucking ring.
Correct.
Rocco Rock goes to pin Meng.
Which I gotta say, they don't just put him through the table. Fucking, I think it was, it was Rocco Rock. Fucking crazy off the rope backflip. Like, he's not just putting him through a table. It was a really cool looking move where he goes to like the corner and fucking backflips to the table. Insane.
Oh yeah, it's such a far jump too.
Yeah,
the table is.
I didn't know Rocco Rock had that in him.
The table is just past the middle of the ring, so like Rocco Rock had to go far, and it wasn't the cleanest, but I mean he hit it close enough.
Yeah, like that. I didn't know like the Public Enemy had that kind of athleticism in him. I was pleasantly surprised by them in this match.
Yeah, but okay, they go to pin Meng, and then Meng kicks them away, immediately gets up, and then he puts Johnny Grunge in the Tongan death grip, which I guess ends the match.
Yeah, Nick Patrick just fucking calls it off. He sees it, he's like, all right, we're done. We're done
and
here.
It's like, what the fuck?
Absolute what the fuck. And
they got the Public Enemy in here, and the Public Enemy are actually kind of over.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be? They put people through tables. And yet, they don't. WCW doesn't want to actually push them. They jobbed to the faces of fucking fear. 2 weeks ago, they jobbed to the Nasty Boys.
Brother.
Like, they don't want. And half the time, their matches end when they try to do table spots, and then they end up going through the tables they set up.
Austin's first law, baby.
It is. It's just like, what? Though I usually keep an addendum to the first law, where if your whole gimmick is putting people through tables, you're immune to Rule 1.
Or at least you get to spend most of your time putting people through tables.
It's the Dudley Boy exception.
Absolutely.
If your gimmick is I put you through a table, you don't go through tables you set up.
Yeah, for the most part, sometimes you got to get that.
Maybe your jabronis like Public Enemy, and you get put through your own tables all the time, despite that being your whole fucking gimmick.
Bruh. So I didn't realize it was this dire for Public Enemy. That's fucking tragic.
This is bad, but at least they're getting paid in a way that Paul E was not paying them. So I guess good for them.
That's
glad they have that.
At least Bischoff is getting them this time.
The checks are clearing for the Public Enemy, so they're probably okay with it.
Are suddenly much less rubbery. They don't bounce as much.
Yeah. Then after the match, the entire Dungeon of Doom is here. And there are a couple of new members since the last time I saw these idiots. But as a reminder, up till now, it has been Kevin Sullivan, Big Bubba, the former Big Boss Man,
True.
Hugh Morris, the future Huge Erection, and the Faces of Fear, Meng and the Barbarian. Yeah,
what?
So they're going to do a whole bit when we get to 2000 WCW and we get the Misfits in action, the MIA.
No.
They give all of these guys. I don't want to. I was saving this until we actually see the Misfits in action. But if you don't know, I have to tell you who is in this group. The original leader of the group was Booker T as G.I. Bro.
What?
Here are the other members of the group. General Hugh G. Rection. That's Hugh Morris.
No.
Van Hammer as Major Stash. Formerly Private Stash. One of the NWO Nitro girls was Major Guns. Chavo Guerrero was Lieutenant Loco. The Wall was Sergeant AWOL. Get it?
Thank you.
And Lass LaRue was Corporal Cajun. Because he's the Cajun.
Oh, great. So, sex jokes and racial stereotypes. We're doing great in the MIA. Yeah, yep. Stand up for the troops, brother.
Support the troops, specifically General Hugh G. Rection.
I'm just saying, if I met him as a recruiter, I might actually be tempted to join the armed forces. You never know.
Anyway, back to these fucking clown. The clown show in '96, not the clown show in 2000. Hugh Morris, Face the Fear, Megan the Barbarian, and they got two new guys. First, Conan. Conan has now joined the Dungeon of Doom. He does not feel like
crazy.
He doesn't feel like he belongs to this group. He is too hip. He is too hip for these fucking losers.
I know. He's actually like cool and presentable.
And then this fucking guy, this like dude with a mohawk, muscle bro. I've never seen him before in my life, and I was like, who is this guy? So I had to look him up. For a short period of time, we had Max Muscle in the Dungeon of Doom, and that's Max with 2 X's.
Of course.
Keep that in mind. He was DDP's bodyguard until they broke away from him. He turned babyface on DDP, but then that didn't get over because he sucks ass. So he joined the Dungeon of Doom and was a heel again. So Max Muscle is in the Dungeon of Doom, and I did not even know who this guy was until
I was like, what is Discount Brian Cage doing here?
Dude looks like if fucking the barf guy in the WWF.
Draws.
If Draws did more steroids. He looks like to me if Draws did more steroids and didn't have tattoos.
That's also I can kind of see that. But yeah, my fucking frame of reference was goddamn like I said, he looked like fucking Brian Cage to me, but like worse. So love child between Draws and Brian Cage. We can meet in the middle there.
That's fair on that.
That's a fun thought to have.
So these losers are just like talking about how fuck the NWO and fuck Hogan or whatever. Big Bubba Rogers continues his one-man crusade to get a match with Glacier.
Yeah, which
he is also annoyed that Glacier debuted on Pro and not Nitro.
I'm not entirely convinced he knows about the Glacier debut because he doesn't really allude to Glacier really being here in ring. He's just like, you keep showing up in these videos and trying to intimidate us. No, intimidation is the Dungeon of Doom's thing, which you guys have a fucking leprechaun. Press X to doubt on that one.
You haven't intimidated anybody since at least in the last 6 months. You have not intimidated anybody. At least 6
Big
months.
Bubba as the initial feud for Glacier is a choice.
I mean, it would have been something.
Would have been. Does it fall through?
Yes, this never pays off.
What?
It does not. He doesn't feud with Glacier doesn't feud with Big Bubba.
What the shit? Then why are they doing this?
Because I don't fucking know. By the end of the year, Big Bubba joins the NWO, okay? So that's
Oh
not
yeah,
where
okay,
this is
sure.
going.
Oh my
Glacier,
fucking
they're gonna find
god.
more fake they're gonna find more fake Mortal Kombat characters, and that's who Glacier is gonna feud with.
Oh my god. They literally just have a Mortal Kombat segment to attract the youths. Fuck off.
But hey, his debut, he I just want to mention this because you will never see him on Nitro because he sucks. Um, the Glacier's debut was against the Gambler. His gimmick is that he's a gambler.
Wow, really? I would have thought he was environmental enthusiast. What the shit, man?
Oh, he is a Kenny Rogers impersonator.
What?
like Kenny Rogers' song, The Gambler.
Oh my fucking god.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em.
Nitro! What are we doing?
What a gimmick.
Oh my
Good
god.
gimmick.
Oh
Be a
my
riverboat
god.
gambler inspired by a 1978 Kenny Rogers song. Good gimmick. Why does this
Mm.
guy not get time on Nitro? Why does he only wrestle on on the weekend shows? I don't know.
I think he would get immediately over. Who doesn't love Kenny Rogers the Gambler song? Great. Okay, so
Any
yeah,
what the
Conan
fuck
cuts a promo, and
ever.
then another member of the dungeon like butts in on the promo while Mean Gene is trying to like end it.
So
Who the fuck?
that'd be Kevin Sullivan in his best jazzercise gear.
Ah, yes. Okay.
The
Yeah, Kevin Sullivan
Taskmaster.
barges in on the promo, and Mean Gene's like, excuse me.
Like, hey, but he basically tells Randy Savage because they made a big deal that they helped Randy Savage out of the ring after the NWO beatdown last week, and he's like, "Hey, you want to repay that debt? You beat the Giant." Okay.
Okay,
The
cool.
Dungeon of Doom knows they're too impotent to actually get revenge on the guy who betrayed them, the Giant.
Oh,
They
100%.
know
100%.
that they're too stupid and lame to do that, so they're just cheering that Randy will get revenge on their behalf.
100%. Absolutely.
Then we get a new promo from the NWO. This time it's DiBiase is in with them. It's the original three and DiBiase.
Yes. No giant to be found. They eventually were like, "Look, brother, the camera's dead. We don't really have anything for you. Just go get us some drinks or something."
Go make more flyers.
And Giant
We
went,
don't need you here.
"Okay." Yeah,
Yeah.
NWO at number 3. I'm starting to think there may be too many of these.
Yeah, I mean they just kind of talk circles. Hogan
Bro,
is
who
like,
let this
well,
pretend
brother, the dead DiBiase, he's got more money than Ted Turner, dude.
Of course. Yeah, right.
Scott, like
Millionaire Ted.
I don't even remember almost anything they say. They're just talking to be talking.
Yeah, who let this pretentious high school film class product on national TV?
Oh, they
Holy
do
fuck.
say that they have demands for if they win at War Games, is they want their own dedicated TV segment as if they don't already have that right
Multiple of
now.
them at this point.
And they also want a memorial tag team tournament. I don't know if they mean like a tournament for the tag team titles or they just want a tournament. I don't know. They
Also,
don't
in
make that
memorial
clear.
of who?
Well, they call it an NWO tag team tournament. So
Oh, okay.
just
I
like
gotcha.
their branded tag team tournament. Um,
Fine, I guess.
the significant part of this promo is that near the end, Scott Hall throws up the 4, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this from now on because NWO is for life."
So
And
that just got invented before our eyes.
he has invented the NWO for life.
So is that a riff on the Four Horsemen?
I think they're making fun of the Horsemen that way. Yeah. Because this
that's
is
fucking wild.
this is the Horsemen's thing.
Yup.
So
But
that's going to be the NWO catchphrase besides "too sweet,"
that's
which
not till
we'll
Wolfpack
get
shows
to
up.
we'll get to "too sweet" soon enough.
Absolutely.
And doing the like touch tips with the wolf.
Yeah, I love
hands.
when the NWO touches tips.
They touch tips, brother.
They touch they touch tips. The truly nary a more intimate wrestling handshake will come along until scissoring is invented.
Soon enough in this arc, we'll have like a real meaty Hogan promo for me to do word for word like the fucking maniac that he is. This one is just kind of whatever. He doesn't say anything that funny or interesting this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's still
Whatever.
trying to be more reserved than his normal bullshit.
Which Hulk Hogan reserved is he tries. He
It's
does his
different
best.
from normal people reserved, but he is
Yes.
trying. He's not
I do
doing
appreciate the effort.
he's not doing the same cartoony mannerisms he did before. He did even in the last NWO promo we covered. Like those initial NWO videos he was like much more cartoony. It seems like he got told like dial that back, please.
Yeah.
And so he's a little more
It's a
reserved.
little harder to take you seriously when you're doing, the Hulk Hogan of it all.
The fee, fi, fo, fum,
The
brother.
Hulk Hogan.
The big stinky giant.
Oh yeah, I got a match with the giant coming up.
like
Incredible. Yeah, so this leads into them being like, "Oh yeah, hey, Fall Brawl's coming up. We got the faction wars. Come check it out. Fall Brawl phone number no longer active."
Hey, and then our main event of the evening. Holy shit, it's John Tenta.
Tenta!
Earthquake has never
here.
looked more pathetic than in this moment right here.
He has a name? That's not legal. I also do want to shout out real quick Bischoff on commentary right before they go to this match. He tries to have a cool line about like all this that's going on, and then he fucks it up. So he goes, "It was on a rainy night in Georgia that Sting found out the hard way, and we found out the hard way that indeed you can't trust anyone." Hey, Bischoff. Do you mean Luger? Bischoff?
Yeah.
Do you fucking mean Lex Luger learned the hard way? Eric.
Yeah. By the way, when I watched these later John Tenta matches, I can't help but notice his tattooed on his left arm. He originally had a big fucking tiger tattoo because he went to LSU, which are the LSU Tigers. Except when he was in the Dungeon of Doom, they wanted him to be the shark. So he got a shark tattoo over his tiger tattoo.
Bruh.
Which, of course, now that whole bullshit's over with. So now he's just got a shark tattoo.
He's just stuck with the fucking shark over the tribute to his alma mater. Brother. Why couldn't they have asked him to be the tiger? Why couldn't they have him get the shark on the other arm and be like, he's the tiger shark? That's a thing that exists.
Oh my god, that would have been so good. Get a shark tattoo on his right arm and he is the tiger shark.
Yeah, and like tiger sharks are like motherfuckers. Like, brother, you didn't have to like fuck him like this. Why? That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, anyway, this is a classic Randy Savage doesn't care match in that it goes like 3 minutes, and I'll give you the beat by beat.
Now that said, Randy Savage doesn't care. Still definitely meticulously choreographed like 3 hours before the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't give a shit, but we still have to put on a good show.
Now, this is a little different than his normal don't give a shit matches. His normal don't give a shit matches are He gets beaten down for 2 minutes, then he just stops selling, hits the scoop slam and the elbow drop and wins. This is a little bit different, where he gets beaten down by the former Shark for a couple of minutes, and then he just gets up and he's like, "Fuck this!" And he grabs a chair in full view of the referee. The referee is watching this happen as he is wielding a chair above his head, and then hits the Tenta with it multiple times.
And the ref allows this.
The ref is just like, "Hey, man, put that away."
That's not cool, Randy. Also, so some commentary notes I want to shout out real quick while we're here. Also, so Randy Savage, I noticed now that he's in WCW, has an electric guitar remix of Pomp and Circumstance.
He does. He doesn't come out to He's got to be the cool hard rock version of Pomp and Circumstance.
Absolutely. It's the opposite trajectory of fucking Claudio, who started off with the cool electric guitar 1812 overture, but now he's just 1812 overture. You know, it's the reverse arc. Also, apparently, Eric Bischoff has to make a note during this match that apparently fucking Brain, during the Public Enemy and Faces of Doom match, accidentally referred to Meng as Haku, and Bischoff is like, hey, listen, look, Bobby, I know you've worked with the Fed for a while and you called him Haku. It's an understandable mistake, but hey, for legal reasons, no, that is not Haku. That is the name he went under when he worked for the World Wrestling Bleep, because of course Peacock has to censor it. For please, his name is Meng now. His name is only Meng. He is associated with no other professional wrestling organizations. Please don't sue us.
And Bobby Heenan probably being like, "Fuck you! I managed him as Haku. He's Haku to me."
Bobby Heenan only dead names Haku.
Yeah. But anyway, after Randy Savage hits Tenta with the chair a couple of times, he hits.
Sorry. Also the commentary note that I wanted to shout out with the chair thing. Actually, kind of a fun moment. Heenan alluding to Randy Savage's former baseball career, which, as a reminder for our lovely listeners, that is a thing that he had before he was a wrestler.
He did, yeah. It wasn't like super successful or anything, because if he was, he would have stayed that.
Yes. But Heenan fucking yells, "Batter up!" as he slams the fucking chair into Tenta. That was kind of fun, actually. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so after a not DQ, flying double axe handle, and then he hits the elbow drop. And he's going for another elbow drop,
baby.
And then he goes for another one, and then I can't believe this. For the second time this episode,
brother,
the match ends when somebody runs to yell at a wrestler, "You gotta come to the parking lot." And so the other wrestler just fucking leaves and loses by countout.
I thought surely we've had this fucking NWO bullshit all episode, but at least the main event, we have Randy Savage versus John Tenta, who, you know, like, I know John Tenta is not at the same level of main event as Randy Savage, but he's a former Fed guy. Like, he's recognizable. Pairing him up against fucking Randy Savage on a go-home show to a pay-per-view, that's a solid thing to do. I thought for sure we'd get one fucking clean match in our main event to send the audience home happy. Nope. Fuck you. Teddy Long is here. Hey, player, go out to the parking lot, player. The NWO is totally back, player. So Randy Savage leaves, and they just end the fucking match with him losing by count out. Oh my fucking God. Forbid we watch more than 3 minutes of wrestling at a time. Okay. May I give a little bit of a breakdown here?
Okay, sure.
I recall back when we did our first WCW arc that during the Hollywood Studios episode, we discussed the fact that it's kind of insane that they did a whole episode where the wrestling got like fucking interrupted partway through, and we just spent like multiple like multiple through commercial break segments focused on just the NWO causing carnage and insanity in the back. And that did not make for a great episode of wrestling TV, but I had the hot take that it is fairly interesting to structure it this way, to have the NWO be presented as such an unprecedented threat that they hijack an entire episode of TV and make us sell like a whole bunch of like injury angles and like holy shit, this was not in the script. This isn't supposed to be happening. We're like the show's in actual trouble, and it's because of these motherfuckers that are infiltrating us. I thought it was kind of an interesting way to go about it because the NWO was so precedented, even if the wrestling, what it did to the show wasn't great. However, you don't get to pull that all the fucking time and have it still be a cool, unprecedented thing. Because guess what, gang? You keep doing this shit, it's gonna lose its effect. And boy howdy, if this War Games match that they were building up to put any kind of a closure on the NWO, rather than this being chapter 3 of 10 fucking billion, I could excuse them doing something like this for this episode. Again, the NWO infiltrating and ruining everything and disturbing everything. WCW just trying to do its thing. And then they'll go get put in their place at fucking Fall Brawl. But no, this is the tip of the iceberg. Holy shit, brother. I'm starting to think that maybe Eric Bischoff is just a shitty book.
Also, reminder, Nitro doesn't have the Titantron. So all this bullshit in the parking lot, none of the live audience sees.
Fuck!
So for multiple matches on this show, the live audience watches a guy run to yell at a wrestler to come to the back. The wrestler runs to the back, and the match just fucking ends, and they sit there in silence, waiting for the next thing to happen.
Bro, the fucking live audience got ripped off.
They really did.
And they probably keep imagine paying to go see this, because like I was able to excuse it at Disney World of like, yeah, not a great experience for the people attending, but that kind of adds to the effect. And they were there for free. They were there.
They were there because they were there to go to Disney World.
They did not pay a single red dime. And like, sorry you guys got used as props in this way. We like subverted expectations, but at least you weren't paying for it. These motherfuckers are paying, and this is the show they got. It's dog shit. Guys, what are we doing?
Anyway, we cut to the back.
And they're going to keep doing this. Sorry, anyway.
They are going to get better-ish in that Hogan is going to start bloviating weekly in the middle of the ring.
Oh,
so all the
great.
NWO plot stuff happens in the ring.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Anyway, we cut to the back, and the numbskulls that make up the WCW locker room have finally asked themselves, do you think these two big black limos in the front of the parking lot are the NWO limos? Could it be? And as it turns out, it fucking is. And so the NWO has to hightail it out of the parking lot in the limousines. And the WCW wrestlers investigate the second limo that is apparently empty. Why is that there? And they find some spray paint in the limo. So they spray paint WCW on the limo.
Which, unfortunately,
they're in the rain.
Yeah, so this is where the rain stops helping them. Because the fucking... Oh my god. Because they try to spray paint WCW in yellow spray paint all over the fucking limo, and it just does not stick. It does. It's not. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then,
they try to end on a really hard closing image, and the rain that's been helping their ambiance all episode absolutely fucks them.
and then we cut back to the announced position for the Horsemen are here, and they got one more promo in them.
Thank God.
It's the same fucking promo they cut twice already tonight. I'm not even gonna cover it.
Fucking literally. Oh my God. And like I do also wanna point out some other random little things. Eric Bischoff starts he's talking to Eric Bischoff before the Horseman crashed the promo, he's bloviating and he's talking about the critics of himself in WCW. Oh wait, sorry, actually the subtitles say it's critiques. Thank you, subtitles. Yeah, so Arn Anderson, there's one thing I do want to point out from the Horseman promo, which is Arn Anderson, in the craziest reach of this episode, speculates that the reason Hogan joined the NWO is because he secretly wanted to be a horseman, but didn't know how to. So he just scrounged together his own group. And
if I wanted to be, I could have joined the Horsemen. I could have taken over the Four Horsemen, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
Yeah, I'm sure Hogan would have plenty of things to say about his supposed inability to become a horseman. But yeah, Arn's going crazy. He and Benoit have their serious faces on. Flair has his insane Muppet face on, and Mongo McMichael's just standing there, just looking happy to be here, like he's just smiling, like waving. Thank you, Mongo. So they leave, and Eric Bischoff is like, maybe it was a mistake bringing Hulk Hogan to WCW. Oh, brother. If only you knew. If only.
So yeah, that was a terrible go home show, to be honest.
Look, go home shows can be rough, but brother,
it exasperated every problem I've already said about the build to Fall Brawl when it is just NWO. All the other matches on the show, who gives a shit about the story of those matches?
It didn't have to be like this. Like, this is just the dumbest fucking call on so many levels.
Yeah. So next time we're here, we'll watch Fall Brawl 96, and we got to find out whose side is Sting really on. We'll keep
I'm sure we'll find out next week, and there will be no further questions.
Of course.
No, of course not.
Though that's for next time we're in this arc. Next week, though, we've had 150 episodes of this podcast. We've had ups and we've had downs. And I don't know. I just think it's time for a bit of a reset. Much in the same way that in the year 2000, WCW had a reset.
What?
Next time on the Noobs and Knockouts podcast, we're going back to WCW, except we're going to the year 2000, where Vince Russo is back, Eric Bischoff is back, they're working together, and they are going to completely restart the whole fucking show.
Wait, is this a new arc?
No, this is a one-off episode. I just wanted to do this one episode.
What the shit? Okay, well, fair enough.
We're watching the Nitro reboot episode.
Damn, for a hot second, we are doing like more WCW on this podcast than WWF. That's crazy.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is for next time. Until then, David, hit the plugs.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, thank you all so much for joining us on yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. First time, returning listeners, viewers, what have you. You all know the drill. Thank you all so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. We are just so glad that you're here with us week after week. Thank you all. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling, or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit, Either way, we hope you feel welcome here. We hope you had a great time here. We hope things feel accessible. We hope you want to keep joining us week after week. I'm going to make sure you know all the ways to do so. First and foremost, you can find the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us all that sweet engagement in the forms of likes and comments. Check out all of our playlists. Austin has been kind enough to organize all of the storylines that we follow into their own separate playlists so you can follow something all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. Also, super cuts of arcs are coming to the YouTube soon, so that'll be a fun thing. So you super don't have to skip around. For all you 10-hour video enjoyers out there, this one's for you, baby. So all that good shit coming to the YouTube, and hey, you can just see our beautiful, pretty faces. Austin's rocking an MDK shirt right now, absolutely based. Who doesn't love a good MDK shirt?
Maki Death Kill.
Maki Death Kill. Absolutely. It's important to be both cute and murderous. This is true. Many people are saying this. However, if you're an audio only enjoyer, those fronts as well. You can the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, which would be Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts.
Amazon
there
Music,
we go.
Apple,
and also, anywhere else where our RSS feed reaches, if it has podcasts, it probably has us. I don't know how the fuck RSS feeds work. It's crazy, but it fucking wild, man. So check all that shit out there. It's great. We're having a good time. And give us all that sweet engagement on our audio only platforms in the form of ratings and reviews if you are feeling so inclined. Maybe some nice 5 stars, maybe some kind words that encourage other people to come and listen to our wonderful little show. We want to grow the Noobs and Knockouts family, all that good stuff. You can download our show, listen to offline. It's just a good time. Come listen to us over on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, etc., 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 etc. However, if you want to engage with us past just listening to our show, well, you can do so at a few other places on the internet where we do, in fact, exist outside of this void that we find ourselves in week after week. First and foremost, of course, you can find us on Twitter at Noobs and Knox Pod. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We do the whole Twitter thing. We're joking and memeing. We're engaging in mind-melting IWC discourse. We put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell is going on. And of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Or TBS, pardon me. We are watching and tweeting about AEW Dynamite, having a grand old time, joining the IWC, talking all about that shit. Additionally, when I have time, not this week, unfortunately, I, being the AEW mark that I am, try to watch and tweet about all the shows whenever I get a chance. So sometimes on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT, we will watch and tweet about AEW Rampage, pardon me. It is the show that y'all been waiting on. And on Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern, also on TNT, we will sometimes watch and tweet about AEW Collision. However, I just learned just now, this is actually very upsetting to me, that Saturday night is no longer all right for fighting. They don't have the Elton John theme anymore, which I haven't listened to the new one yet, but to me, that is an extremely massive L and actually legitimately kind of kills a little bit of Collision's aura, which is deeply unfortunate.
Very sad.
I am actually heartbroken over this. But nonetheless, I will still be a proud Collider even in the midst of this betrayal.
Yeah, Gringo Loco is wrestling on Collision right now.
Gringo Loco? Gringo Loco?
Because they're doing the hologram debut, and he's debuting against Gringo Loco.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's cool as shit. Okay.
I got the Twitter highlights going, Twitter feed rocking right now.
If nobody got me,
What's
Twitter
going
got
on
me.
Collision.
So I will
Sky Blue got hurt again.
Motherfucker.
Big deal, yeah.
Jesus goddamn Christ. No. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Okay, so either way, we'll talk about all that shit, all the AEW shit. Come join me if you want to talk AEW with me and, check out, see if we're doing the weekend shows. We do the Wednesday shows, all that good stuff. Additionally, Austin, being the knockout that he is, likes to follow all 3 of the major American companies and talk about them, watch their pay-per-views. Sometimes he even tweets about them. And we like to tell you guys about them, especially for all you noobs out there who are looking perhaps for your preferred product to attach to, or just looking for a little sampler platter to enjoy. We like to kind of tell you what's going on. This is our chance on the show to talk about contemporary wrestling, not just all this fucking retro shit. And again, sometimes Austin tweets about it, so we can justify putting it in our Twitter section. Either way, my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Sure. So, upcoming for the WWE is kind of next in line here. You got Raw Mondays at 8 on
That is true. You do
on the
have it.
USA Network, and on Fridays at 8 on Fox you have SmackDown. And upcoming on Peacock, where you get all their live stream pay-per-view shows, we're gonna have SummerSlam on August the 3rd, and we got 5 matches, which means clearly that's the whole card.
That's the whole card. We did it. We did it, lads. Good job.
We did it, gang. We were gonna have Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Bayley versus Nia Jax for the women's title. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the world title. That's the main event, definitely. There's not going to be anything else. Please don't.
Oh, God, no. Are you kidding me?
We're definitely not going to main event with Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. That definitely isn't going to happen.
How could it? There's no way.
I saw a tweet where people were like, everyone expects Roman's debut, and it's actually just Hikuleo, and it's a Seth Rollins clip of him going, ha 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 ha.
Bruh, fuck off. Oh my God.
I hope the new bloodline continues to be dog shit.
I also, just because it's very funny.
It is I am rooting for one wrestler in that group, and that is Jacob Fatu.
Absolutely.
The rest of them
if he ever
suck.
gets Zilla, I'll root for him too. But until then.
Yeah, the rest of them suck. DIY.
No.
The rumors are DIY is going to job to the fucking Tongans, the fucking Gorillas of Destiny, and drop the tag titles. Disgusting.
Oh God, that's
if they belt up Tongaloa, y'all are fucked up.
The man who botched a low blow.
Belt that guy, huh? Okay.
Incredible.
And then Logan Paul versus LA Knight, yeah, for the United States Championship. Let's get the belt on a guy who doesn't do photo ops with Donald Trump.
Jesus.
I mean, there's a lot.
And then call
the
most badass person ever for getting his ear shot or whatever.
There is a lot of shitty things that Logan Paul has done besides that.
So many.
But that is the most topical one.
Yeah,
so
true.
We'll go with that. But yeah, I get maybe by some miracle Papa H will give us more matches on our SummerSlam card, but probably not. It might be 3 hours and 5 matches.
As someone who watched Money in the Bank, oh joy.
I can't wait to watch SummerSlam and also be bored.
I can't wait to watch SummerSlam and also commercials. I'm so glad I'm watching a PLE and getting fucking commercials.
Yeah. I pay now the price of Peacock is now like $13 a month.
Jesus.
Is premium for Peacock now. They've raised their rates.
Of fucking course they have.
So I'm paying extra for these commercial riddled hell pay-per-views.
Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah. Now luckily I'm mooching off yours, so I'm not paying anything, but still I'm offended.
Yeah. Then next AEW on August 25th on pay-per-view is All In London. And so far, we still only have the 2 matches, but what banging matches we're going to have.
Oh, my God.
Then up next for TNA, well, they're having Slammiversary right now. So, can't talk about that.
Yes.
But upcoming for TNA, first of all, if you want to watch weekly for TNA, 8 o'clock on Access TV on Thursdays. or be a normal person and watch on YouTube with a YouTube sub or a TNA Plus sub instead. And then
Indeed.
also they have
There is a
TNA.
superior option here.
Yeah, then they are running their TNA monthly specials. Upcoming on August 30th is Emergence that you can watch live on TNA Plus.
I do like emerging from things.
They're coming close to another. They're doing a show in Cleveland. They're doing Victory Road in Cleveland. Not, like, God damn it, come back to Columbus. They haven't been to Columbus since last June.
I know. What the shit, brother? I guess Cleveland's where it's at. Cleveland's getting a lot of shit recently. Fucking SummerSlam in Cleveland.
Fuck them.
Damn, the old Columbus-Cleveland rivalry heating
What
up.
did Cleveland ever do to deserve that? And of course, the answer is nothing. They've never done anything.
They got a fun name, Cleveland.
No, The Miz comes from Cleveland. That's all we need to know.
Oh, damn, that sounds like a dub to me.
Hey, fuck off, fuck you.
Incredible.
That's one of the better experiences I've had going to a Columbus Raw. Is Miz was at ringside and everyone chanted "You're from Cleveland" at him.
That's actually a really good crowd chant to get going. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You're from Cleveland. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's our slate.
No.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, so be sure to check all that out. Be sure to check us talking about it on Twitter. We just like to vibe with all y'all and talk wrestling. And if you enjoy listening to us ramble on the show, you'll enjoy the Twitter. Our voices carry over pretty well. I think our little dumb little sense of humor, it's all there. It's all good, brother. So yeah, all that good shit. Fucking check it out at Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. Of course, if you want to get in more direct and long form contact with us, you can do so over at our email address, noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word, and knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us there. Have fucking conversations with us. Tell us what you think about the show. Request things you want to see us cover on the show. Fucking all that good stuff. Tell us how based or cringe our hot takes are. Just start Discord. Say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. And of course, finally, you can also, if you want to more directly support the show, perhaps even in a financial sense, you can do so over on our Patreon. We have a Patreon account. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Being free on our Patreon gets you a shout out at the end of each episode. Again, didn't know that was a thing until a couple weeks ago. Shout out, as always, to friends of the show, Sugar Daddy, El Lucha Dead, Money, Money, Money. I want to sit under the learning tree. TM, you're wrong. And our $1 tiers and our free tier friend Gabe Chavez. Thank you all so much for your support of the show. It truly means a lot. Glad either financially or just via good vibes, we have your support. It means the world to us. And hey, if you want to kind of come over, get your name shouted out, maybe get some perks, a single little $1 due a month is all you need and helps out the show in great magnitude, shall we say? Shouting out our boy John Tenta earlier. It truly helps out the show. Even a single little $1 a month, it's a tremendous boon on us. So if you want to support us, come over to Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. The link for that is in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta